Bay City, Saginaw, Midland. Michigan sports aren't just a game. They're a way of life. And now we've got a show dedicated to die-hard sports fans like you. Hosted by a guy who's borderline obsessed with the wins and losses of all your favorite teams.
He's crazy.
Every weekday morning from 9 to noon, Ben Bosscher brings you the talk that matters. The teams, the stories, and the players you care about most. This is the Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair.
Remember that.
Hello, and welcome into the show, everybody. Happy Wednesday. It is Big Win Wednesday, so we will do a giveaway thanks to Garber Chevrolet at about 10:15.
Yes.
Really excited about that. Today we're giving away $100 worth of Ford Corporation gas cards. So that's at 10:15. We got a lot to get to before then. We're back, ladies and gents. Dan Campbell had a press conference this morning. They're going to be doing practice. I think they're practicing right now, so if we get any live updates, we'll give you those. Dan Campbell provided a good amount of information, though, so I'm excited to share that with you. That's coming up a little bit later on in the show. Let's start here. Tigers' absolute offensive explosion last night. 2-touchdown win, 14-0. There's a lot to discuss, and obviously it all ties back to Tarek Skubal and the trade deadline. Tarek Skubal potentially taking the mound for the very last time in a Tigers uniform today, whether or not he should be going out there, how long he should be pitching, all things that we need to go over. He is at 999 career strikeouts right now. I'm fine with him going and getting one more. I don't want him to go pitch 7 innings. I think that'd be insane to put him at risk to keep him out there that long. But that's besides the point. Let's just for a couple minutes forget about Tarek Skubal and the trade deadline and specifically talk about last night's game. Welcome back, Javier Baez. 3 hits, 1 run,
Let's go, Tigers!
including a double, 0 strikeouts. It's his first game back since April 28th. Say what you want about Javi Baez, obviously a very imperfect player. But Kyle, he is a significant upgrade in that 9-hole or wherever he ends up batting. It's not going to be in the top half of the lineup. We know that. Over James Outmans or the Ben Malgiris, whoever's down there at the bottom of the lineup, Javi Baez is a huge upgrade over those guys, and we saw that spark that he can provide yesterday at the bottom of the lineup in the 9-hole.
Yeah, he just brings a different sense of juice to the Tigers lineup. And obviously, like when he has a game like that, you're of course going to feel it. But just in general, like Javi Baez just being in the lineup already adds a sense of something that those guys don't, especially when he has a good day as well.
He is built for the big moments in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
A strangely clutch hitter for as frustrating as a hitter as he's been in a Tigers uniform. Eduardo Valencia. So before the game, we got some semi-shocking news. The Tigers, in order to make room for Javier Baez on their roster, they actually DFA'd Jake Rogers, a longtime Tiger, obviously a fan favorite, locker room, clubhouse guy. They DFA him to make room for Eduardo Valencia to just stay on the team. That's telling us this is now the backup catcher on the team. This is a guy who's just going to be here for the long term. And it's semi-shocking because obviously he impressed us in his 6-game stint a couple weeks ago when Dylan Dingler got hurt and he got called up. He hit .417, 2 home runs, really impressive. The bat was on fire, but it was a 6-game sample size nonetheless. Not nearly enough, I would think, to win a job over someone like Jake Rogers, especially considering he had 5 stolen bases on him in 11 innings, so there's definitely some work behind the dish. And then he follows it up with a shutout game yesterday from behind the dish. And he had 4 hits, including 2 home runs. So he's now hitting over 500 with 4 home runs in 7 games as a Detroit Tiger. Unbelievable story that we're getting with Eduardo Valencia. So yeah, for a second I was like, oh, this is kind of quick to, DFA someone like Jake Rogers for Eduardo Valencia. And in literally one game, additional game.
One at-bat because he homered in his first at-bat again.
Exactly. It took him one at-bat, one plate appearance, and it was like, yeah, I'm good. Like, thank you for everything you've done, Jake Rogers. Shout out to Will Smith and Dalton Rushing for formerly being the best catching duo in the NFL or in the Major League Baseball. What the Tigers have in Eduardo Valencia, I'm fascinated with. This guy's just a glowing personality, and for him to be called up, sent back down, not have any confidence shaken, and come back in the bigs, and now he's just a certified big leaguer who has not really any threat of being sent down at any point. I love this. This is really fun and a really fun story for the Detroit Tigers the rest of the season.
Yeah, I saw some Tigers fans. Obviously, we can touch on the Rodgers thing because the concern of, well, why would you get rid of Rodgers when you have a Ben Malgiri or James Outman? That Malgiri could just go down to AAA or James Outman could just be DFA'd instead. First off, no team really carries 3 catchers. Now, I know that Valencia, ideally, he's not great behind the plate. You mentioned it. He just isn't. Jake Rogers is a much better defensive catcher than Valencia is. It's not going to be, outstanding when he's behind the dish, that's for sure. His bat, though, just provides too much, and so no team is going to carry 3 catchers. Also, Jake Rogers can still be traded. That's the important part about this. there's the 7-day window when a player gets DFA'd. You see it all the time. It happened with Jahmai Jones and the Red Sox, right? The Tigers DFA'd Jahmai Jones, always released, and then 3 days later they traded him. That 7-day window leads all the way up to August 3rd, the trade deadline. So they can still move Jake Rogers, and it seems like all the Tigers beat writers are anticipating that he will be involved in a trade come the trade deadline. So that's important to note. For the Valencia thing, man, I mean,
can I say one more thing on Rogers?
Sure.
Career batting average of 197 with the Tigers, OPS of 649. Obviously a fan favorite.
Yeah,
Can
but
hit
he
some
pitched
bombs
some
once in
games,
a while.
though. Like, he was a good closer.
Eduardo Valencia has basically proved his bat to be worth it in a matter of 7 games.
Yeah.
I know it's a small sample size, but this is crazy.
I mean, Jake Rogers is the longest tenured Tiger, correct? Like
2019?
Batter?
Yeah.
Not counting a Skubal, Mize, like that collection of guys.
Yeah, I think he is.
From a hitter standpoint, the longest tenured Tiger. And he was a clubhouse guy. That's what, Kerry Carpenter had a quote after yesterday, him getting DFA'd. AJ Hinch mentioned it. Like, Jake Rogers was a fan favorite, 100%. But his bat was not worth keeping him on the roster over a guy like Valencia, who's 26 years old, by the way. It's not like Valencia is some super young guy that's like, oh, we can give him more time. Like, no, he needs to be in the bigs, especially if he's producing at this level. He's no longer a minor league bat at 26 years old. So, first 7 games of his career, like you mentioned, the 529 batting average, almost an 1,800 OPS. What? Like,
doesn't happen very
It's unbelievable.
much.
Miguel Cabrera's first 7 games of his age 26 season with the Tigers was very similar numbers, about a 1,500 OPS with a 500 batting average, 3 homers. That was in the 7th year of his career. Like, it's interesting stuff, man.
McGonigal yesterday has 4 hits, which matches the career high. Do you know when he had his other 4-hit game?
First game of the year.
Opening day. 4 runs, that was a career high for McGonigal. So shout out McGonigal, who just continues to be incredible. And then with all of the great things that happened yesterday, 19 total hits, Glaber bombed, everybody was hot except Torkelson. The story of the game is despite 14 runs being put up, it's the other side. It's the fact that the Tigers didn't allow a single run and the fact that Troy Melton is continuing to pitch like an absolute ace. It was only 5 strikeouts, so that number's not going to wow you. But I'm like at a loss of words for every single time Troy Melton takes the mound. He's striking people out with a handful of different pitches. He's got a handful of different, like, really, really positive stuff that he can throw. It's not just fastball changeup. It's not just slider. This guy's throwing the cutters. He's the fastball getting up to 97 miles an hour. It is unreal watching this guy perform. And another ace performance. He is the second best ERA in all of baseball now of players with 10 starts or more at 1.75, only behind the guy who's just going to win the National League Cy Young in the Miz, Jacob Mizorowski, only in front of none other than Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah, what a duo to be thrown into for Troy Melton.
He has pitched in 11 games and has given up 2 or fewer runs in 10 of them. They have an ace, ladies and gents. They have an ace. And now to just kind of full circle bow tie this moment, what they did yesterday was the best win of the year. They had an ace-like performance, 14 runs put up on the board. None of it had anything to do with Tarek Skubal. They do not need him. They have Troy Melton. They do not need him when their offense is hot. They're winning games because of that, and it has nothing to do with Tarek Skubal. It's a full circle moment because of all these things that happened yesterday. It obviously always ties back to what are the Tigers going to do with Tarek Skubal. I think yesterday is more reason why you should trade him. You have an ace on your team. Go get 1 additional bat with Tarek Skubal. So I hate to just like poo-poo the Tigers' 14-0 win. Obviously, this is what it all comes back to this week. It was an incredible win, and it was all without Tarek Skubal. I've kind of stayed firm. Like yesterday, I know I kind of dumped on them a lot. But what have I always told you, Kyle? I really think if they trade away Tarek Skubal at any point, it's not like their season's done. And yesterday, a game like that is proof of it. 14 runs put up, an ace-like performance. Skubal's not even out there. Don't let him walk for nothing. Go add another bat to this lineup. Because when you have Glaber and McGonigal at the top, and then you have guys like Eduardo Valencia and Javi Baez at the bottom, like, it just makes for such a more well-rounded team compared to what we saw for a lot of the stretch during the summer when James Outman and the Gage Workman are at the bottom of the lineup. Yesterday was a completely different team than what we're normally seeing with the addition of Javi Baez and Eduardo Valencia. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see what this team looks like. I want to get Chris Castellani's thoughts on the trade deadline. I know he's going to see Tarek Skubal today, perhaps for the last time. Troy Melton's performance, Eduardo Valencia, McGonigal, Javi Baez's return. What did the Tigers do at the trade deadline? We're going to get Chris Castellani's thoughts on that coming up when we come back. Ben Bosscher Show is always brought to you by Bresky Siding and Building Repair, the experts who do the job right the first time, whether you have a leaky roof or storm damage, the siding is looking tired on your home. Bresky has you covered. Locally owned, trusted, and dedicated to keeping Midland area homes safe and looking sharp. Quality materials, skilled craftsmanship, and service that puts your family first. Don't wait for the next storm. Call Bresky Siding and Building Repair today and keep your home strong for years to come. The 9 o'clock hour is brought to you by Iron Stack Technology. They help businesses solve real tech problems securely, efficiently, and without the headaches. When your IT is working the way it should, everything else gets easier. Iron Stack Technology, solution-driven, mission-focused. You can check them out online at ironstacktechnology.com.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The... by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
All right, Chris Castellani now joining us here on 100.9 The Mid. Chris, appreciate you joining us. I know you're on your way to the Tigers game. I want to talk about, like, specifically last night, because I feel like for the better part of the last month, every single Tigers conversation that anyone has just has to go back to Tarek Skubal, and that is what we're going to do eventually. But just real quick last night, what was your reaction to that game where they win 14-0? My reaction, of course, is going to tie it back to Tarek Skubal, but Eduardo Valencia, what a story this has become. The return of Javier Baez, the bottom of the lineup all of a sudden looks a lot better. Troy Melton's pitching like an ace yet again. What was your reaction to last night's win?
My reaction is this continues to be the most bipolar Tigers team of my lifetime. I cannot discern what version of them is going to show up from one game to another. I mean, you have a brutal 3-game losing streak in the middle of a very important homestand. Then you bounce back with a game like that, I guess. And I talked about it in my post-game video. The one takeaway that I had is like, and I'm glad you mentioned it there, the production from the bottom of the lineup. And it's something that, we've had our frustrations with, over the last several years, which is, I feel like especially this season, you'll get good at bats from the heart of the order, and it's just such a deflating feeling when you turn the lineup over to Vierling or, formerly to a Jake Rogers or a James Outman. It's like last night with, Javi coming back and Valencia hammering the ball. It's like, this is all of a sudden just for, we'll see how long it lasts. It looked like a relatively deep lineup, that didn't let up and was, taking advantage of their opportunities with runners on base. So it would be par for the course for them to get shut down completely today, just as they continue to be the weirdest team in baseball. But it's look, you score 14 runs. It's a major positive sign. You do a heck of a lot of damage against Dean Kramer. Hopefully it carries over as you start to get a few pieces back here.
Valencia, I was semi-surprised with the move that happened yesterday, the Jake Rogers thing. Like, it caught me totally off guard. Then I thought about it. I was like, okay, this does make sense, right? He proved himself in those 6 games with his bat. It was a really small sample size, though. That's where the surprising part of it comes in. If that was 30 games, of course that would make sense. Then he picks up right where he left off with 2 home runs, one of them against a position player. But first one, totally legit. 4 hits. Like, is it possible to overreact to Eduardo Valencia right now, or are we just enjoying the experience that we're getting with him?
He's approaching Akil Baddoo territory of like that first week worth of at bats being like, dude, is this guy going to win the MVP? Like, it's crazy what he's done. No, here's the one thing I will say, and is the Jake Rogers move was obviously talked about a lot, and I discussed it. But I think, for as much as, it may have been the first domino to fall in what's going to be a, fair amount of turnover here over the next several weeks, I think that run that Valencia went on his first 4 games before he got sent back down, whatever it was, I think that opened their eyes a little bit, and they want to see a bigger sample size. I think from a baseball standpoint, that move makes a lot of sense because you now give him a longer runway here. This is a guy who's, he spent 8 years in the minor leagues. And so, at age 26, like, you're going to figure out pretty quickly if this guy is a major league player or not. And while, I've heard, he's not a plus defender necessarily behind the plate. One thing AJ's talked about is like, okay, well, we can have him DH. We could maybe have him play a little bit of first. There's a bit of versatility there. So I think they want to make sure that they know what they have going into next season with him. And up to this point, off to an incredible start. I think the bat's going to play. And, especially considering what we've seen from this offense over the last several years, like that has the potential to be, a diamond in the rough for them.
Another incredible performance from Troy Melton. As fun as the 14 runs are, I think the most important part of yesterday was Troy Melton having another scoreless game. Obviously didn't finish it, but just another gem of a performance. Has a 1.75 ERA now, which is the second best in all of baseball of anybody with 10 starts. He's given up 2 or less runs in 10 of his 11 starts. This feels like another type of performance where I always said that this guy could be the ace. It almost feels like he's ready to take the reins as soon as maybe this week.
Yeah, well, let's think about it though, because like if Scooble gets traded, which I think he will, and this team goes on another crazy run and sneaks into the playoffs somehow, he's your game 1 starter. I mean, he's been your guy since he made his debut, or at least this season's debut in May against the Orioles. There's just a comfortability that comes with him on the mound. You just feel good when he's out there. And I talked about it last night, but I really think it's a big deal that maybe is getting a little bit overshadowed. But I don't know what the fan base's reaction would be to a potential Scooble trade if Melton, Montero, and obviously with Job coming back here soon, didn't make up a trio of pitchers that you feel good about going forward here. I think that the emergence of Troy Melton I'm not saying he's going to win back-to-back Cy Youngs and just fill right in where Scooble left off. At the same time, I think that there is a good crop of young pitchers here that's going to allow the fan base to feel pretty good on a daily basis about who's taking the mound. And yeah, he's just been fantastic, man.
At what point did you decide you had to go see this very last, potentially very last Scooble start? He's sitting at 999 career Ks right now, so you're likely going to see a pretty incredible moment. I don't know how long he'll pitch today. Maybe it's the one strikeout and they take him out. Maybe it's 7 innings. I have no idea what to expect today, but at what point did you decide, like, I have to just go see them today?
Okay. I got these tickets like a week ago, not knowing if it was going to be his last start. So it was, I when I found out I had them, I'm like, okay, this really is kind of a perfect opportunity. And I probably would have gone anyway, just for that reason. As far as the start today, I legitimately think he's going to go, like, as far as they let him. I think the goal here is to try to win the series and try to win this game. Obviously, there's a bit of a risk that comes with that. But I think this is just kind of how Detroit fans are, is that we'll kind of get angry at our athletes sometimes, but we have a tendency to be very sentimental, and I am at the forefront of that. He's going to get a massive standing ovation when he steps off the mound for the last time today. I mean, I think that these last few years with him have really been a ton of fun. I think the organization and the fan base views this team as one that still, even without him, has the potential to head in the right direction. So, no, it'll be an interesting thing. I've obviously gone out of my way to be a lot of games that he started. I had the opportunity to be at the complete game shutout that he threw against Cleveland last year. Like, a lot of great memories with Tarek Skubal, and hopefully we can make one more today.
We could talk about this for an hour, and I'm not going to keep you that long because I know you got to go soon.
Yeah.
But percent chance that you think he does get moved?
Right now, I'd put it at about 80. Yeah, I've got it pretty high. I really think they were undecided, but that 3-game losing streak in the middle of this homestand, not just the losing streak, but the fact that, like, all of them, or at least 2 of those 3 were bullpen related. And I think it was them realizing, like, look, even if we hold on to this guy, there's major flaws in this team that, like, we can't really correct at this point. I think that you could trade him right now and still potentially, continue to play the baseball you've played and maybe slide your way into the playoffs if you stay hot. So I really think that they're going to make a strong attempt to move him. And I also think, to a certain extent, the Jake Rogers move was a piece of that. Like, I think that, I don't know if their mind wasn't made up about Scooble. I don't know if Jake would be gone. I think that there's a relationship that those guys have. I think cutting him loose is kind of the beginning of all right, this is going to be a different team over the latter stretch of the season. I don't think that it will involve Tarek.
Do you like the approach that they've taken and the stance that they've taken of, yeah, we are going to, like, kind of be undecided about this until the very end? Because I think that gets a little bit frustrating that, okay, a few wins here could have genuinely changed their mind, when I kind of just think trading Tarek Skubal nonetheless when you're under 500 was the plan. Should have been.
It's their favorite thing to do, which is just kind of, act indecisive and wait until the last second and think that they're outsmarting everybody. And you're right. There's been a ton of winnable games. There's been 3 winnable games in this homestand that they probably could have had. At the end of the day, May is what buried you, and I really think that we've had these discussions heated up right around the time that you went through that horrific stretch in May. So I can't say whether or not I like it, because I need to see how the deadline goes, and I need to see the results of this trade. But as it stands right now, it seems like, subject to change, their plan is Tarek and nobody else. If that's the case, I think that I'm okay with you in this instance having 1 foot in and 1 foot out. I think that you can sell to your fan base that you've got a good return for your star pitcher while also rolling out, a team that could be competitive every day until the end of the line here.
Last question. It can be as simple as yes and no if you want it to be. Are you going to be disappointed if they don't move him?
Surprised, not disappointed. No, I don't know. My whole thing is I don't. It's never impacted me that much. I think that you can make an argument for both sides. There's going to be a time release on it, though, because if you don't move him and you end up finishing with 79 wins, you're going to have a long offseason, man. I mean, you're going to have a long offseason of answering that question. So I'm not going to say that I'd be shattered by it. because it is just 60 games. It's a band-aid for time essentially. But I would be surprised at this point. It feels like the writing is kind of on the wall.
Chris, enjoy the game. Enjoy strikeout number 1,000. Hopefully you get to see some more cool milestones today. Enjoy your time at Comerica Park, all right?
I appreciate it, guys. I'll talk to you soon.
We'll talk to you next week. All right, Chris Castellani, everybody. You guys can go follow him on Twitter. Always a good time there. We'll hit the news when we come back. It's the Ben Bosscher Show live on the Mitt. We still got to get to the Lions. Dan Campbell had his opening press conference for the season. We're back, baby. We're back here in Allen Park. It's Ben Bosscher Show live on 100.9 The Mitt. Tee up at Sandy Ridge Golf Course, Midland's Hidden Gem, where every round feels like a little bit of a getaway. Now featuring a brand new clubhouse, part lounge, part hangout, all class, perfect for cooling down or talking smack after 18. Smooth greens, scenic fairways, and enough birdies to make your buddies jealous. Whether you're a weekend warrior or just there for the vibes, Sandy Ridge brings the game and the chill. Book a tee time, plan your outing, or stop by and pretend you know how to read a green at Sandy Ridge Golf Course, the hidden gem that's way too good to stay a secret.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt. Built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
All right, 9:30. Kyle Sandel, step up to the plate. It's your time to shine. Give us the news.
The Mets Morning Catch.
All right, we got a bunch of positive Tigers injury news yesterday. You mentioned with Javi Baez returning, Eduardo Valencia's there, Jake Rogers DFA'd. Some non-positive news, though. The Covenant Healthcare Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Injury Report. A.J. Hinch announcing as well that Jack Flaherty's IL stint, quote, won't be minimal, and he will certainly be on the injured list for more than the 15 days that he was on there for, a.k.a. For sure now, Jack Flaherty will not be getting traded. There's
Lovely.
no way.
Well, it does, like...
You all set?
Yeah. Something to note for the next break. It does, with Flaherty... look, I don't know what they could have gotten for him, even if he was healthy.
I think they could have gotten something decent.
It doesn't feel like they were all that interested in trading anybody else besides Tarek Skubal to begin with, though. So we'll see.
Sure.
I think they could have gotten something interesting for him as well, especially with Job coming back. And then, but then if you're
Montero still technically isn't a part of the rotation when the staff is fully healthy.
Yeah, that's
he
true.
obviously should be. To me, it just felt
you
like
could have
Flaherty
afforded to lose two guys. You're right.
He was just always the most obvious, like, yeah, he should be traded. Like, he's pitching well. He was terrible to start the season. He's an expiring contract. Teams could use him. It just made the most sense. Tigers could pay off the rest of his contract, that whole thing. Like, but that's not going to happen now. So, I mean, but it's not the end of the world. They'll have him. He's going to help them compete for the second half of the season. So that's good, I guess.
If they want to be competitive and try to sneak into the playoffs without Tarek Skubal, which I think is still possible, especially after a game like last night, keeping Flaherty around is not a bad thing.
As mentioned with Chris in the previous segment, Tarek Skubal potentially making his last start as a Tiger today, 110 against Trevor Rogers. It's the final game of this series with Baltimore. You've mentioned this. Okay, I only want him to go to get his final strikeout. We have Fluttershy in our YouTube chat saying, am I the only one that doesn't want him to pitch and risk getting hurt? What's the take on this? I see a lot of people saying Skubal should not be starting this game.
I mean, ideally, he's not starting. I think the only reason he is because he's just, if he does start in the first inning, he will more than likely get that final strikeout to have 1,000. I think that'd be a cool career moment. If it's his last career moment in Detroit, I think that's a service to him and the fans for him to get that strikeout, get a standing ovation, maybe gets taken out of the game after the first inning and just gets a humongous applause. If he was at 989 strikeouts, I don't think he's going out there today. I think this is simply
I
because
think he still would.
You do?
I mean, anytime,
you think he's
like
going
from
the distance?
From a business standpoint, you can get a sellout on a Wednesday afternoon by saying, "Oh, it's Tarek Skubal. Oh, this might be his last start. Skubal." Like from that perspective, he was always going to make this start.
But do you think he's going
super
a
late.
long time?
No, I think this is going to be, but also like Tarek Skubal coming out of the game earlier than we want. Oh, that's every start. Like, like
yeah, but if it happens in the first like 3 innings, we know it's something different.
That's the issue. Is like I see people make the take. Well, if he starts at all, like they're not going to trade him. I don't necessarily think so.
Nah.
Was each of his last 10 starts off of the injury list not just as risky? It's just that this is the last one. Like at the end of the day, he is coming off of major elbow surgery and he's been pitching. So like all of those starts were just as risky as this one.
Sure, but we're also like here now. Now we're here, and it seems as clear as ever.
I would be very
that
shocked if he goes over 6 innings. That's what I'll say.
I'd be
I bet
shocked
he
if
probably
he goes
goes like 5 innings. But like the Tigers are still saying, "Oh, we don't know if we want to trade him." So if he does get pulled after 3, like you said, or 2 or whatever, then they are trading him.
Yeah.
Like that's them just like announcing it basically. Which I don't think the Tigers would do, but based off all the stuff they've been wording this entire
They'd
deadline.
love to play this thing in secrecy.
Yeah.
It's so bizarre. Like,
Which could work.
Sometimes it's just better to be honest with other teams, though. Like, I'm not saying, like, show your hand immediately, but the entire, like, oh, well, like, we might have, like, I don't know. It just turns teams off from wanting to have conversations from you. It's like the guy in fantasy football who, like, oh, I kind of have, like, some other deals that are working.
I got better deals than that one. Okay, how can I beat it? I don't know.
Okay, then we're done here.
Yeah.
Then we're not having a conversation.
That's a great point. That seems like what the Tigers are, yeah. So we'll see. Tigers 110 today. I'm sure we'll do some more Tarek Skubal. Should he start today? Should he not today? Because everybody in the YouTube chat seemed to have a lot of opinion on this as well. Okay, let's do a quick college football thing here in the news. Big Ten Media Day yesterday. It was the last couple of days, actually. And Tony Petitti really used this as an opportunity to, one, talk about the college football playoff and the Big Ten stance on that. And two, just flex on the SEC. So Tony Petitti's initial welcome to Big Ten Media Day has the past 3 college football trophies on stage with him because the Big Ten has won the last 3. He says, he shares this stat in one of his first things said, quote, "The Big Ten has won 4 college football playoff games in a row directly against the SEC, which hasn't had a team play for the conference title in the past 3 years. And the Big Ten has 11 wins by 7 different teams the past 2 years in the 12-team college football era, outpacing the 5 wins of the SEC." Just flexing on the SEC.
Is this an all-time rivalry at this point? Has the rivalry between the Big Ten and the SEC ever been better than it is right now?
I don't think so.
Right?
I don't think, but it sucks though at the same time. Like we can say it's the rivalry's its best as it's been, but I don't like it. I don't like the way that it's a rivalry. Like, oh yeah, we wanted it to be 1,000 teams. They wanted it to be 2,000 teams. You guys are both idiots. How about that? Can we make that the answer?
I was forever in the I don't understand conference pride.
I kind of do.
Now I think it's hilarious. It's comical to me. Because I never understood the pre-12 football, the pre-12 team playoffs. What is the point of conference pride? Oh, now I'm all of a sudden rooting for all the other teams in the Big Ten because my team's not going to win. I don't understand this. Now that we're at this 12-team playoff thing and the SEC is so butthurt that they aren't getting these wins and the Big Ten is doing the run around and flex their muscles, I think it's hilarious.
Yeah. It was always felt SEC driven. The Big Ten was kind of just the ones that were what is the 50 Cent meme? What do you say F me for?
Yeah.
I'm just we're just over here, It was always SEC thing. But yeah, now that the Big Ten especially has won 3 straight. But here's the big thing. Tony Petitti reiterating the Big Ten's emphasis for a 24-team college football playoff. He doubled down on their league push for the 24-team playoff, saying that the Big Ten can still eliminate its conference championship game in time for a new format to begin in 2027.
Lame. Nobody wants 24 teams in the playoffs. Not a single person.
I am with the point, though, that, hey, conference championship weekend doesn't matter anymore. Either make it matter or get rid of it because it's pointless. I think that I would rather them make it matter and have some sort of reward for that. But right now it's at a stance where it doesn't matter at all. So what's the point in playing the extra game?
The Big Ten and SEC just go away from the NCAA so they can't reign supreme. Winner of the Big Ten championship.
The SEC might. That stuff has picked up some heat in the last week as well.
Winner of the Big Ten championship. Winner of the SEC championship. They play for a national championship. Who says no? Oh, you don't like it? Okay, join one of the 2 conferences.
It just is. It's just dumb that it's gotten to this point in general, though. That's the worst part of all of it. Some big news in the NFL. We'll do this as the last part of the news, and we'll save all the rest of stuff for later. Kirk Cousins is going to be the Week 1 starter over Fernando Mendoza to open up Raiders camp, and I would assume that means likely to be the starter in Week 1 is kind of the way that this sounds. Pretty shocking. He's the first overall quarterback that would not be the Week 1 starter since Baker Mayfield in 2018, who didn't start the first 2 games. But more notably, Jared Goff is the last guy that really didn't start. He didn't play till Week 11 for the Rams, had a really bad rookie year. And I think it's funny because Jared Goff is the guy that Mendoza's drawn a lot of comparison to. So, I don't know. To me, I think this in 2026, how do you not put the first overall pick? Goff and Mendoza could not be more different coming out of the draft.
I still think
Mendoza's the Heisman. He just won the national championship.
I still think
he's not
it's
going to start.
A coin flip on whether or not he starts or not. Just because he's the Week 1 or the day 1 starter in camp, Kirk Cousins, I don't think that means he's the day 1 starter.
Okay, but the fact that this is even
a
conversation. I mean, look at the last so many other quarterbacks.
Sure,
Bryce
but I don't
Young,
think they're just
Cam
going
Ward.
to give it to him.
Why wouldn't they? He's the first overall
because there's
pick.
a legitimate NFL quarterback in the room, and all those other
You're
guys
saying
did
that
not
about
have
Kirk?
that case.
That's crazy.
I mean, Kirk Cousins is better than anyone else at any of those quarterbacks that you just named were in the room. Like, most of these other teams didn't have a quarterback in the room.
But, like, what's the point, I guess, is my whole thing.
I agree with you. I think he should just start week 1.
Like, he's the first overall pick.
But he has to go earn it, I think, is the more important part. Because now they can phrase it to, if he is the week 1 starter, well, he earned it. He went and killed camp. I think it's all just to set him up to take over at some point, and then it's
obviously
now
he'll
he's
take over at some point. It's just whether or not that's pre-week 1 or not.
989-837-6125. This is the Ben Bosscher Show live here on 100.9 The Mitts. Scott Family Dental Botox. Who knew that your dentist could double as your fine line fixer? At Scott Family Dental, Dr. Brandon Scott is helping Midland smile and smooth things out with in-office Botox that keeps you looking fresh without the "I've been poked and prodded all day." Come in for a clean teeth cleaning, leave looking like you just got 8 hours of sleep and made a really good life decision at Scott Family Dental.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mix. Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
So after a game like yesterday, 14 runs, you shut out the other team. Troy Melton's pitching like an ace. The bottom of the lineup all of a sudden looks a lot friskier with Javi Baez and Eduardo Valencia there at the bottom. Obviously, Eduardo Valencia is not going to be able to keep this up. 4 home runs in 7 games with what'd you say, 1,800 OPS right now? Something ridiculous.
Yeah, almost insane.
Yeah, of course that's not going to be able to keep up. But
why not?
I guess that's a good point. I don't know. This does feel like a different team, and I've continued to say this. Selling Tarek Skubal doesn't necessarily mean you're waving a white flag on the season. And after a game like last night, I feel even more so. Like, yeah, you can move Skubal and you can survive because you can get ace-like performances from Troy Melton. I know Connor Montero snuck a couple of those performances in there this year, but it's really Melton and maybe way down the line, Job too. The bottom of the lineup's way better. The top of the lineups is as strong as it's ever been with healthy Glaber, McGonigal. How Lee has become an everyday player who's hitting phenomenally. He's got a 12-game hit streak, which is the highest in the American League right now. The lineup feels as deep as it ever has. Troy Melton feels like an ace more than he ever has. I still feel like this team has a chance to make the playoffs. I just don't think Tarek Skubal has to be a part of it. I think it would just be malpractice to not move him and try to get some players back for him. And I heard some conversations on our radio this morning from Bellino. It's like, yeah, but if they trade him, they're not going to get anything back for him because of, like, let's look what they got for Verlander. Oh, the best guy was Jake Rogers, and Jake Rogers' career just ended, and he's a sub-200 hitter. It's a bad mindset to have, to just assume every time you trade a star pitcher, you're going to get absolutely nothing back in return for it. There is a better outcome than that's worst case scenario. And if you want to live your life predicting worst case scenario, I guess I'm not going to be the one to stop you, but there is a world where the Tigers can get a productive bat who's good as a prospect.
Like a pretty likely world, too.
Where if you move on from Tarek Skubal, and again, a game like yesterday where you win 14-0 without him, I think is even more evidence that you should trade him. Not more evidence like, oh, we need to keep him, we're awesome. Like I didn't feel that way at all. I didn't feel like swayed, like, oh, this team's good enough to go do something special. Let's keep Tarek Skubal around. No, they're good enough without Tarek Skubal because they just won 14-0 and had an ace-like performance from Troy Melton. That was my mindset.
Sure. I do think that, I mean, to Chris's point as well, this team is extremely bipolar. Like, it would not shock me one bit if they come out and put up 1 run today in support of Tarek Skubal, like run support-wise. That's just kind of how they've been. But to the point, like, I don't think that it's that bad of a point saying, well, look what they've done with the Verlander trade. Look at the last several trade deadlines from Scott Harris. Like, you really want him to fumble this? The only way that I could defend that take is if there was a actual real chance that the Tigers could extend and re-sign Tarek Skubal in the offseason. If there was even a sliver of hope for that, then I could actually see that take and be like, that take makes way more sense than saying, well, they should keep him so they could push for the playoffs. No, like you're saying, I think that they could still do what they've been doing over the last 2 months without Tarek Skubal. But there isn't that sliver of hope that they can re-sign him. And if you think there is, then you live in some fantasy land that I would love to be a part of. But I live in the real world. And so I'm not going to choose to believe those things. So I think there's a lot of optimism to have for the rest of the season. You know, if you do trade Tarek Skubal, you mentioned it with Troy Melton, Kiner Montero. Like, these are 2 guys that we didn't expect to be nearly as good as they've been this season, and they have been great. Jackson Jobe is just going to come back within the next 2 weeks, probably.
I would guess
I think he's got
within
one.
The next 2.
He's got to start in Toledo. Maybe they give him 2 starts in Toledo if they want to do a short one and a long one. We'll see. But
what's the point, though?
But like, either way, it doesn't matter. Either way, he's going to be back pretty shortly after the trade deadline, which is awesome that he's going to return this team because similar to how the Tigers don't really lose when Troy Melton's on the mound, the Tigers didn't really lose when Jackson Jobe was on the mound last year. They were
like
9-1 in his 10 starts. That's pretty awesome. Also, Framber Valdez, I know that we have had the biggest issue with him on planet Earth. He's just not going to be worse than he's been. He's either going to be the same or better. It really can't go worse for Framber Valdez going forward. So that's nice. And it all depends on what you do elsewhere. Are you going to move Casey Mize? If not, you still have Jack Flaherty. So that question about Casey Mize is still up in the air. But are you going to move Gleyber Torres? I made the case that I think they should move both of them, but I'm not going to be super frustrated if they don't. And so if they keep both of those guys, yeah, like there's still a ton of reason to feel like this team actually has a chance to continue to play well in the second half. Now, last night's game is unsustainable, like you've mentioned, but still, there are a lot of positives going forward. And then whatever you get with the Tarek Skubal trade as well, like that has to be taken into consideration.
Yeah, I think Glaber is a guy that maybe there is a chance that they can re-sign Glaber Torres for like a 2 or 3 year deal.
So?
I don't think it's off the table. Like
I think
they're already
Glaber's-
paying him $20 million per season, and it's not going to be more than that if they give him a 2 or 3 year deal.
He's getting at least a 3-year deal. The whole reason he came back to Detroit was so that he needed another prove-it deal so he could get the long-term one. He's
been on the IL twice this year.
Yeah, but he's getting a 3 to 6 year deal.
It's
this
not going to be
offseason.
for the $20 million per year that he's making right now, though.
I mean, it's not going to be
which
much
is a
less
1 year
than-
deal.
It's not going to be much less than that
So why wouldn't the Tigers sign up? If they're willing to pay him $20 million
because you have
right now,
because your interior of your infield of the future looks like Hao-Yu Lee, Colt Keith, Kevin McGonigal, Bryce Rayner. It's a lot of guys.
sure. I just don't think it's a bad thing to keep him around.
I don't disagree.
Yeah, I like, look, Fangraphs has the Tigers at a 31% chance to make the playoffs. Sportsbook has them at plus 330. So basically a 1 in 3 chance wherever you look that this team is going to make the postseason. And then Pro Reference, which is basically just 50-50 coin flip for every single game. So I'd imagine theirs is going to be a little bit lower. But like the books and Fangraphs, which is the most accurate models, they both have it as a 1 in 3 chance that the Tigers can make the postseason. If they trade Tarek Skubal, I don't think that really goes down. Do you?
No, I don't think so. I mean, if they just trade Skubal, you're saying?
Yeah.
No,
Trade
because
Skubal and keep everybody else.
Because also, from all reporting that we've gotten, it is likely that the Tigers will get a close to, or if not already, big league arm in the trade package. So it's like you already have a replacement guy, not saying he's going to be as good as Skubal, but just having another guy already there. And maybe you'll add another guy that's going to be on the team by the end of the season.
Which I disagree with, by the way. I think you should be targeting a bat or just the best player available. I don't think you should be prioritizing an arm necessarily. Fangraphs is, or Pro Reference is actually a little bit higher. They have it as a 20% chance, and that's just like 50-50 for all the games, you know? I don't think that takes into consideration
20% chance of them making it?
making the postseason, yeah.
I thought every other one was in the 30s.
Yeah, but the Pro Reference's model is always going to be a little lower because I think they treat it as coin flip every game. You know? Like it's pure math. Whereas FanDuel or Fangraphs like takes into consideration, oh, what do we think is going to happen? This team's actually good.
Right.
So yeah, like 1 in 3 chance to 25% chance that this team actually ends up in the postseason. I don't think they need Tarek Skubal to do it because they have a really strong core in the rotation. Troy Melton's pitching like an ace. They're getting Jackson Jobe back in the next couple of weeks. Montero's been fantastic as in the role that he's been in, and they still have Casey Mize around. You know, so I'm feeling optimistic about this team and what they can accomplish going forward after a game like last night. I don't think it requires Tarek Skubal to be on this team.
And like Max Clark is probably going to be here at some point too. Guy's almost gotten 1,100 OPS in his last 18 games in AAA.
I bet we see him in September.
Yeah, most likely. It'll keep his rookie eligibility for next year too if they do it in September.
989-837-6125. This is the Ben Bosscher Show live here on 100.9 The Mitts. Before we get to the Detroit Lions, I should tell you that you guys can see the difference at Midland Eye Care, where your vision is their focus, offering comprehensive eye exams, glasses, contacts, and advanced eye health services. A friendly, knowledgeable staff and a wide selection of stylish frames for every face and budget. Book your appointment today and start seeing clear tomorrow at Midland Eye Care. Dan Campbell had a press conference this morning. Oh, we made it back. Lions had a practice this morning as well. We'll get to that and more when we come back.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mix.
.9 The Mitt, WLUN, Pinconning, Bay City, Saginaw, Midland.
All right, Dan Campbell had a press conference this morning. Biggest takeaway. Oh boy, Kirby Joseph. I made the prediction I thought he was going to be healthy to play week 1. I seem to be wrong. Dan Campbell said he'd be pretty shocked and whoa if Kirby Joseph was healthy week 1. Everything else that we predicted about him remains true. They're going to keep him pretty low-key right now. They're going to wait until the very end of training camp to start ramping him up. He said he's closer to the branch timeline, though, than he is being able to play week 1, which I thought was pretty shocking and also, of course, pretty alarming. That Dan Campbell said any of that about Kirby Joseph. No positive updates. I didn't expect a positive update, but I would consider this a negative update on Kirby.
Yeah, I mean, how can it not be?
We thought he was going to play week 1. You and I. That doesn't seem to be the case. What would you put the over-under of games played for Kirby Joseph this year? Like, does it really get to be more than 9.5? Well, if I gave you 9.5, would you take the over?
He said he's on the Brian Branch, or like more likely on the Branch timeline, which I thought that was a little alarming because we have the understanding that the Branch timeline is probably going to be a likely middle of the year kind of thing for once he does return. So is 9.5 generous? Is 9.5 an auto under?
Like, at what point would you take the over? If I set the over under
probably 7.5, I'd probably take 8 games. Like, as like an auto, like, yeah, I would take that. And then everything above that is like a up in the air. Like playing double-digit games this year. I mean, that just feels unlikely, right?
Kirby Joseph playing 10-plus games? Yeah. Like, I wouldn't bet on that. I wouldn't bet my life on that.
Yeah.
It's just such a sad situation, too. And luckily, the contract that they gave Kirby Joseph isn't this disastrous cap hit. He's only making like $6 million this year because they avoided it. So it's not, and he's going to get his money regardless. So it's not like destroying the Lions financially. It just sucks, though, when you pay a guy $86 million per season. And one thing I can say with a lot of confidence is he's not getting a second contract with the Lions. And I don't think he's ever going to be a first-team All-Pro guy again.
$86 million a year he's making?
No. In
That's
total.
Crazy.
Did I say per year?
Yeah.
I meant in total. It's really sad to see a guy go down like that. A guy that you a year ago thought was the best safety in the NFL or one of them, and now it feels like he's never going to get back to that point. Like, honestly, I'd be shocked if he made it to the end of the contract.
I mean, let's tell it how it is. It's also sad to see him losing his mind on the internet. Right? I mean, that
yeah.
And I'm surprised that didn't really get mentioned in the
Like,
press
got
conference for Dan
soft-launched.
Campbell. It did get soft launched. Yeah, it was like, hey, Kirby Joseph has been tweeting. Did you see he tweeted about Jackson Meeks that he's having a good season? What do you think about Jackson Meeks? It's like, okay, man.
Yeah, that
you
was
just
hilarious.
wanted to say Kirby Joseph has been tweeting, and you wanted to spin it into a positive way, which Dan Campbell did not address. I thought that should have been addressed. I think it should have. The Kirby Joseph activity on social media has been alarming, and that is something that I think just should be asked of Dan Campbell. He probably gives the answer that we all know. Oh, I don't really look into that. It's not really something that we're concerned about. Like, you expect that to be the answer, but
I don't know. The way the Lions are yanking media passes away these days, I would not be asking about Kirby Joseph's social media stuff.
Sure. I just think with, like, the injury stuff is concerning, and it's piled on with the mental aspect. Like, it feels like the approach from Kirby Joseph has been pretty, I don't want to say mishandled, but it's misguided.
By him or by the Lions?
By him.
Yeah,
I mean, he's saying, oh, I'm healthy, I'm good, I'm this, I'm that, and then he's not. And not only is he, we get the notification he's starting on the PUP list, okay, he can be taken off at any time. We had the take 2 days ago, yeah, he still should be fine. Like, he can be taken off this list as long as he's before week 1, he won't miss 4 games. And then Dan Campbell just straight up says, yeah, there's no way he's playing week 1. What?
He'd be surprised.
Yeah, like, what? Okay, like, so what is Kirby Joseph thinking then as far as his timeline to come back? That's him. That's you.
Yeah, because it doesn't feel like
know?
He is necessarily in sync with what the Lions, like him and his body are not necessarily in sync with how the Lions are viewing his body, and his mind doesn't seem in sync with any of that either. And look, it's 2026. I think we're as smart as we ever have been about how, being out for a long time can affect your mental health too. Like, the more you're injured, the more it can affect your just psyche and willingness to get back on the field. And you can go crazy a little bit because your whole life is playing football and needing to be an athlete. And when that gets taken away from you, it takes a mental toll on you as well. And look, it's tough to like hop inside Kirby Joseph's mind right now. And
we already said it the other day. We really can't. It's hard to.
You really can't, but like
it's a Zoop's mind.
It's not a good look based on what's happening right now on his own platforms on all the different channels.
I'm already seeing in this last break, he's on his Instagram story showing the fans that to all the fans that say I'm not out here working. He's like doing a workout right now.
Yeah, bro. Why do you got to prove to anybody?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
you don't got to prove to anybody but yourself and your teammates that you got to be out that you're out there. Like, it doesn't matter what everybody on Twitter thinks about you, dude. Just go out there and show your teammates that you're out there working. Why do you care so much about what everyone online thinks? That's never a good sign when athletes are in that mindset, in my opinion. Like,
Ben, if you suffered a voice injury or something and you couldn't speak very well,
it's my worst
and you're
nightmare.
Like, it's like my vocal cords are messed up, and you're like, man, I'm gonna be back Monday for the show. I don't care what any of you guys think. You want to bet me? I'll be doing this show Monday. And then clearly Brad comes in. He's like, dude, you're not doing the show for a month. You can't talk. And then that makes you look like an idiot.
Yeah.
Because how do you not know your own body? How do you not know your own self that you're not ready to go? To me, it's alarming. And then you're fighting everybody else about it too. I just don't understand.
It's getting kind of dark. It's sad. What's going on with Joseph? Obviously, he's a player that completely changes every single game. I've got an update for you in the last 4 minutes from Nolan Bianchi. Jahmyr Gibbs, absent. Not at training camp day 1.
So this isn't even going to be a hold-in scenario, huh?
Detroit Lions running back Jahmyr Gibbs was absent from the first day of practice in Allen Park. Gibbs is not included in the list of injured players that Dan Campbell provided updates on this morning. They asked Dan Campbell about the Jahmyr Gibbs contract extension. He said it's 2 sides. They're working on it. We know how this thing goes. We know we like to, make sure we reward our guys the way that we've done it in the past. Really undersold it, not something to be worried about. This is the first holdout. If this is what this is, of Jahmyr Gibbs not being there, this is the first time we've ever had a holdout under Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes.
And obviously, we probably need to get more info on this before we confirm that it is, if there's not a reason that he is not there. But yeah, I would assume that's what it is. And it sounded like this was going to be a hold in, right? He was just going to be at practice and not participate. That's what a lot of guys do nowadays. Baker Mayfield was going to take that route with Tampa Bay. But yeah, if he's not there, that's kind of shocking, honestly.
You know what that tells me? This thing's getting done soon. There's no way the Lions are going to let this guy who's supposed to have an MVP type of season, an Offensive Player of the Year type of season, just miss out on any longer than a week of training camp. Max, he's not there for a week.
And it was brought up to Dan Campbell in the presser. Didn't really have much to say on it.
I mean, he made it seem like, yeah, we're working towards it. We both know that we're going to get the contract done. Like, he totally undersold it. But you can't just afford to not have Jahmyr Gibbs out there right now. You got to get him, geared up. And I know he's not going to be playing in preseason anyway, but like just for the offensive line, how many new faces? They got to get used to the timing and everything with Jahmyr Gibbs, because the way that he takes handoffs is probably a little bit different than the way that most running backs take handoffs, and the timing of where you're supposed to be on these run plays.
Yeah. Also worth noting, I don't know how much we trust Adam Schefter, but I think he's pretty tapped in, as much as we like to make fun of him. He did actually say on Brad Galley's show that he expects the Gibbs thing to get done relatively quick, which that's good to know. It's good to hear. Hopefully that is hopefully his definition of relatively quick is like
within the coming
24
weeks.
hours.
Yeah.
We don't need Gibbs missing out on camp, man. Like you said, this is new territory for the Lions as far as somebody holding out. It's not been something they have had to deal with.
I've throughout the offseason said they shouldn't pay him. I mean, if he's going to hold out, I think this is someone you're just going to take care of your guy.
Yeah,
just do it.
There's no you're going to pay him anyways, right? You might as well just get this thing done. Who cares if it's not beating out the Bijan Robinson deal or whatever it is? Like,
it's going to cost you a lot of money no matter what. So just do it and get the other contracts done when you can. There should be a priority to make sure that this guy plays this year, though.
I mean, 1,000%.
Like, you want to play hardball with him. Like the way that they played hardball with Alex Anzalone, and they totally won that, and I think they should have played hardball with Alex Anzalone. There is a world where you can make an argument that you should do the same thing with Jahmyr Gibbs. Hey, play the last year of your contract.
A lot more money.
Then we're going to franchise tag you. Like, so be it. We want to see what you look like as a true running back right now, or as a workhorse running back. Like, there's reasons to do it. Is there really any upside? The franchise tag's going to be a lot of money anyway.
To tagging him or just letting this play out?
Letting it play out.
Yeah, I agree. There isn't. Because the only argument to be made is like, oh, Robinson gets his deal and you can try to make it similar, because what if you overpay Gibbs based off of, and then Bijan Robinson gets a better deal? I don't know. I don't necessarily think there's any upside to a holdout here for either side. Well, for Gibbs, obviously, but for the Lions.
989-837-6125. I want to go over our predictions for the season and what we think, like what our expectations are, essentially. Less than predictions, but like what are your expectations for the Lions this year when we come back, and hopefully we get more on this Jahmyr Gibbs saga as well. It's the Ben Bosscher Show live here on the Mitt. 10 o'clock hour, as always, is brought to you by Aired Insurance. They understand not everyone's insurance needs are the same. They're all about putting you in a better insurance position, whether it's your home, auto, life, or business coverage. They make sure your protection actually fits your life. If you're looking for a team that takes the guesswork out of insurance, this is it. Be sure to go follow Aired Insurance Group on social media to stay connected every day and see how they're helping people every day.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. 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 Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
So we left the last segment saying Bijan Robinson, Jahmyr Gibbs not there at camp. He's absent from camp today, day one. Bijan Robinson is at the Falcons training camp, but he is not practicing. Gibbs took it a step further and didn't even show up. Both of them are seeking to become the highest paid running back in the NFL. Right now, the highest running backs in the NFL in terms of average annual salary, $20 million, Saquon Barkley, $19 million, CMC. Devon Achane got paid this offseason, $16 million per season. He's got the highest total value as well at $64 million. Not all of it's guaranteed. But I still am kind of feeling like my panic meter on this is like a 1 or 2 out of 10. I'm not all that concerned about Jahmyr Gibbs and him potentially missing any time and this getting sour. I have made the case throughout the course of the offseason and was pretty adamant that the Lions should not pay Jahmyr Gibbs and they should just let this thing ride out. Okay, but if he's going to play hardball, I'm not saying Brad Holmes should just fold as soon as, hard times come and just give in to Jahmyr Gibbs, but also, like, this is someone who we all think is going to have an MVP type of season, an Offensive Player of the Year type of season. What is the point of not paying him right now if you're going to eventually? Like, I get it. You could have him play this last year on his contract. You can pick up the 5th-year contract. You can franchise tag him after that. Like, you can play Jahmyr Gibbs without giving him a long-term extension for 3 consecutive seasons. But if he's going to hold out, like, are we really going to do this for 3 years? I don't think so. That's not how Brad Holmes has operated for a while here. In terms of worriness that he's not going to play, I'm still at like a 1 or 2. I'm not worried at all.
I would say so too, but this is a something. I don't think this is nothing. Like, I didn't really expect it to get to this point. Did you?
No.
But it's not shocking at the end of the day. They haven't come to an extension yet, and Gibbs obviously has earned it and deserves it, and this is just what you do if you're going to get paid.
I'm more surprised that he's not there
Right.
than he
Yeah,
is that he's
100%.
not practicing. Because, like, if you're trying to get a new contract, you don't want to get hurt. Like, the worst thing that could happen is you're practicing and you tear your ACL. Okay, Bijan Robinson is at practice. There's videos of him there. He's holding a football, and the team understands. Like, yeah, he's here. He's showing face, but he doesn't want to get hurt as they're negotiating a new contract. Gibbs not even showing up is almost like making a statement. Like, no, you're going to pay me.
I see. I've almost felt like a hold in sometimes is even worse. Like, oh, I'm here and I'm just watching practice. I'm here just being like, exactly. Whereas Gibbs isn't there. Like, you can make the case for which one is worse, and I don't really think it matters at the end of the day. What do you do though, if you, on a day like today? Like, what is Jahmyr Gibbs doing right now? Day one of practice, he's not there. What is he doing? Like, is he still working out somewhere else? Like,
Playing Madden? No, I think
is
you're
he
like
just chilling?
genuinely scared of getting
Are
hurt.
you just chilling? Yeah, like, I have no idea what you do on a day like today. It's like missing the first day of school. Like,
You can't be missing the first day of school.
What do you do?
Like one of the first days you're excited to go to school.
Yeah, like what am I doing if I'm missing the first day?
Are you at all upset with Jahmyr Gibbs right now?
No. This is what happens, and it's unfortunate. Maybe I'm just upset at the way that the system is, but think of every running back like in the league that has gotten James Cook last year holdout. Jonathan Taylor last year had an extremely extended run going into the season as far as missing time. Like, this is just what happens, and it's unfortunate, but now it's finally happened to the Lions, and they've avoided it for some time, so we can act like, oh man, the Lions, they screwed this one up, not getting it done. Every other NFL team has had to deal with this. It's just how long is it going to linger? If this lingers for some time, then yeah, I'm going to be a little like, okay, really? Like, we're letting this play out this long for no reason when we know what the outcome is going to be? So yeah.
But are we confident that it's the right outcome of paying him all this money up front before he like truly becomes the best running back in the NFL? Because I think he's still like, we all think he's capable of doing it, but he's yet to take that crown and sit that throne. Should you wait? Or is it like, no, you may as well do it now because he's going to be the highest paid running back or the second highest paid running back in the NFL?
When you say should you wait, from the Lions' perspective or Gibbs?
The Lions' perspective.
Why would you wait? Why would you wait? You want to get that guy in the field as soon as possible,
it's with the idea that you're never going to actually pay him. You're going to make him play his contract out,
They're
pick
not
up his
gonna pay
fifth-year
him?
option, and then, no, I think they're going to, but there is like some sort of reason as to not think you should.
Yeah,
It's a running back at the end of the day.
I just don't think this is a Jalen Duren situation. I don't think this is one where you're outsmarting the player and the agent.
Also, there's just been a trend in the NFL to where, like, look at all these top running backs and how much success their teams have had. Saquon Barkley won a Super Bowl as the number one option on his team. CMC got to a Super Bowl as the number one option on his team. Kenneth Walker, I wouldn't say he was the number one option.
But he
by
got
any
paid.
means.
I mean, he won Super Bowl MVP and got paid at following it.
Yeah, like, there's been a lot of good cases that, like, you kind of need a great running back to get over the hump.
Yeah.
And, like, the Chiefs are kind of the only example of a team that got to the Super Bowl without a really good running back the last few years, right? Eagles had Saquon. Seattle had the incredible defense and also Kenneth Walker, who I wouldn't say is, like, in that top tier by any means, but still a really good running back. The year before, it was just Chiefs. And then even I guess the Patriots didn't really have a great running back.
No, but little different. Some people reacting to Gibbs in our YouTube chat. Jacob says, did not expect that from Gibbs. Michael adds, thought we weren't worried about a holdout. Running back holdouts tend not to be good early on in the season. Pizza Man adding, mark my words, the Lions will pay him and it will blow up in their faces. This is what happens when you pay everyone else.
What does this have to do with paying everybody else? Paying a running back and paying everybody, I think, are two completely different. Like, if you want to get mad that he pays everybody and pays some guys too much, like, oh,
well, I'm assuming
hands
that
out too many contracts.
take comes from like, oh, well, the reason they haven't signed Gibbs is because they've paid everybody else.
It's not like they don't have the money to pay him.
Right.
You have the money to extend basically anybody you want on your own team for the most part.
Kevin also adding, Gibbs, Scooble, Larkin, Duren. We're hitting for the cycle in Detroit. Hopefully Gibbs does not get added into the category of unhappy stars.
I wouldn't think so.
I certainly hope not.
I really do think this is more so just business than it is disrupted hurt feelings. Like it was with like Alex Anzalone, that felt like it was a little bit of hurt feelings. Jalen Duren, there's for sure some hurt feelings going on.
I think that's just stupidity more so of anything. But
I don't think we're quite at the hurt feelings point with Jahmyr
Scooble
Gibbs.
certainly had hurt feelings. We knew that in the offseason.
Yeah. I'm really curious to see how this thing plays out, to say the least. Like, I guess I'm. It's tough because I'm here to have like these strong opinions on this, and I'm really conflicted about what is the right thing to do. Because on one hand, you don't pay running backs, like you don't extend first-round running backs to these massive contracts. But the Gibbs situation is so specific in that he didn't have this crazy workload.
It's him and Bijan though. Like they're both in the same situation.
Yeah,
These guys are awesome. Like they're the best in the league.
right.
First round picks. That hasn't happened in some time.
And Gibbs is such an interesting. I mean, both Bijan and Gibbs are such interesting cases in that they weren't like heavy workhorse backs prior to this upcoming season. They had David Montgomery in the case of Gibbs, and in the case of Bijan Robinson, he had Tyler Algier. That Falcons fans were frustrated because he would come in and steal the touchdowns from him. But I think the teams were really smart in doing that, because you don't want to run him into the ground until you actually have this contract. And now that Gibbs is, the way that Dan Campbell's talked about Gibbs probably didn't do this situation any favors. Oh, we want to make him the workhorse. We think he's this special. And then Gibbs is like, all right, if you think that and that's what you want me to do, then pay me to do it.
Yeah, it does put the leverage all on Gibbs' side.
Well, when you're as special as Gibbs and you're the favorite to win Offensive Player of the Year, you just have the leverage. Like, there's not a whole lot of leverage to be.
You guys going to play without me?
Yeah, no, we can't. I mean, the Lions would be probably, for the most part, fine without Gibbs.
Oh, come on. No, they wouldn't.
I mean, they'd still be an above-average
this team's
offense.
not winning anything without Gibbs.
But, Gibbs is what makes them, like, again, I think he's going to take the reins from Amon-Ra St. Brown this year as the number one weapon on the team, if he hasn't already.
I think he already has, yeah.
But I think most of, like, he already has is based on, like, eye test, feel. I think statistically he just kind of dominates.
I mean, he gets the
Lions
ball
this year.
more. Like, that probably helps it a ton.
Yeah, I'm conflicted on how to feel about this. I think ultimately you don't want this to turn into anything that it's not, and right now I don't think it's anything right now, which is good. So I would say the best thing that
Him
you
not
could
being
do,
there is something, though. I would say it's not. I would not give it a nothing. Like, he's not there on the first day of training camp. Name the last Lion that wasn't.
there hasn't been one.
That's what I'm saying.
In the Brad
Like,
Holmes era.
that is a big deal. Now, it isn't a big deal in the grand scheme of things for the NFL because this
Still
is
such a long ways out.
And it's just a normal thing. Guys that are up for new contracts will just hold out at the start of training camp, but it just hasn't happened to the Lions yet, and it's a player of his caliber. Yeah, that's going to be a little bit concerning no matter what.
Wait. Gibbs did report to camp today. There was a photo of him posted by the Lions' social media. So it is a sit-in. We just haven't seen any pictures or videos of him at practice.
Are we sure?
Yes.
All right. I mean, all these Lions beat reporters all said he wasn't there.
He wasn't at practice, but he's at the facility.
Oh, okay.
Bijan was at practice. It doesn't seem like Gibbs took the field at all today. But there was a picture of him posted by the Lions' social media that showed him walking into camp or walking into the facility at Allen Park. So perhaps they're negotiating this contract as we speak. I hope this is done by the end of the week.
It's just interesting that Dan Campbell, when asked about, one, the players that would not be participating, mentioned all the injured guys, obviously, and didn't mention Jahmyr Gibbs. And then when asked about the contract, just says, yeah, we're working on it. We're going to get it figured out. And that was it. It's like, oh, you don't care to mention that he's not going to participate at all today?
Do you think he knew?
Of course he knew. He had to have known.
I think the Schefter thing is the most encouraging part about this.
Yes,
if you're looking for him to get extended, I think the quote is, I think Gibbs could get, I think the Gibbs thing could be relatively quick, whatever that is. I think the Lions, based on everything the Lions have shown us under Brad Holmes, they're going to get this contract done sooner rather than later, like before the first preseason game, I would imagine. I love training camp, man. It's my favorite part of the year, honestly. I love reading all this stuff.
Your favorite part of the year is training camp?
I love
not
reading
like when
everything
real
that
games
happens.
are being played?
I love training camp. It's the Ben Bosscher Show live here on 100.9 The Mitt. The show, as always, is brought to you by Bresky Siding and Building Repair. The 10 o'clock hour is brought to you by Aaron Insurance. Great Lakes Spine and Medical. Hey, quick heads up for all the parents and athletes out there. If you've got kids gearing up for fall sports coming up, or they're still in summer sports, Great Lakes Spine and Medical is the place that has you covered for sports physicals. They make the process fast, easy, stress-free, no long waits, no bouncing all over town. Plus, you're not just checking a box. Their medical team looks at the overall movement, flexibility, and injury prevention to help athletes stay connected and healthy all season. Whether it's school sports, travel teams, rec leagues, Great Lakes Spine and Medical is a great local option to get it done right and on time. Appointments are easy to schedule. Get those physicals done now and be ready for game day.
Hey, Ben, I just remembered. What about Big Win Wednesday?
Oh, my God. I forgot about Big Win Wednesday.
Jameer Gibbs distracted us, man.
All right, Big Win Wednesday. Text in GAS to 989-837-6125 for a chance to win a $100 forward convenience store gas card. Again, text in GAS to 989-837-6125 for a chance to win a forward convenient gas card for $100. We'll pick a winner here shortly. Big Win Wednesday is made possible every week by our friends over at Garber Chevrolet.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9. Built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
All right, we'll pick a winner here for Big Win Wednesday here momentarily. This is the Ben Bosscher Show, and we are going to take a trip around the league.
It's time to zoom out and go around the league.
All right, well, speaking of Jahmyr Gibbs, I have a feeling he's going to come up on this list. I'm not going to make you guess on anything today, Kyle. This is just the Athletics, the NFL's 10 most interesting contract situation as training camp begins. So who else is in an interesting contract situation other than Jahmyr Gibbs and Bijan Robinson? Well, the first person that comes to mind that's on this list, number one, is Houston Texans' CJ Stroud. Are the Texans going to pay their quarterback like a superstar ahead of this season? I don't think they will. Why would they? He's been terrible for the last 2 years, and he was awful yet again in the postseason. I'm still a Stroud believer. I really am. But if I'm the Texans, I really want to see how he responds after another terrible postseason. And I saw he cut the hair.
Yeah,
a
did
little
you
more
see
professional.
did you see the video of him pulling up to training camp?
Looked like, it's just an odd walk. Looked like a middle schooler pulling up to first day
And
of
like
sixth
the
grade.
fit he was rocking, I don't know. I was gonna say I thought they were gonna pay him, and then I saw that video, and I'm like, never mind. I'm not paying that guy.
He looked like a bum.
He did. I don't know what's his deal.
He stayed quiet this offseason way more than the last few. So
yeah, he has been kind of a the podcast type guy,
not this offseason.
going on a bunch of shows, right?
I would think the Texans do not pay him. I want to see what he looks like with a great defense, a Super Bowl caliber defense, one more year to go prove that you can be one of the top paid quarterbacks in the NFL. Give us the confidence to pay you.
I agree with you, but I think he does get paid. I would take the same stance as you, but I just think he has the argument of okay, one, what else are you going to do? Two, I've been to the playoffs every year. And I've won playoff games. He kind of has leverage, I guess, is the route I'm taking there.
Carolina Panthers, Bryce Young.
He took him to the playoffs.
Took him to the playoffs.
Yeah, no, there's no way
I would
he
not
gets
be
paid.
looking to pay Bryce Young. I don't think there's anything he could do this year to make me want to pay him.
Once again, I will still take the stance that the Panthers making the playoffs could be worst case scenario for them. Them winning the division last year off of some crappy BS division could be worst case if they decide to pay Bryce because of it. Because I just still don't think he's the future quarterback.
But they're going to win 7 or 8 games this year probably. And then what?
7 or 8 games? We're round of applause?
But then what? How do you replace him?
I know.
They're just in this
I
really
see.
weird funk of Bryce Young's not the worst quarterback in the NFL, but he's clearly not a franchise guy, but you're going to be winning enough games to not have one of the very top picks in the draft.
I've got an answer. There's going to be a guy that used to play for old Dave Canales. It's going to be a free agent at the end of this season.
Baker Mayfield?
Baker Mayfield. You see the news on that?
Yeah, I'm sure he's going to come up at some point, too. Well, you know what? Let's just do him right now. Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, he's not going to re-sign. He's not going to hold out at camp or anything, but he has decided that he's just going to become a free agent after this season.
Because they couldn't agree on a contract. He said, if we get to day one of training camp and I still don't have a contract, I will not be negotiating. I don't want to deal with it. I want to focus on the football. He's betting on himself.
Yeah, that's an adult approach to take as well.
Yeah, rather
Return
than just sitting out.
Kind of forget he was in Carolina, though, and it was just a really poor situation. So
Different situation now, right? New coach, same ownership, new GM.
Yeah, way different situation, yeah.
How about the Seahawks? Devon Witherspoon named a second-team All-Pro nod in 2025 as a part of a Super Bowl caliber defense. Number 5 pick in the 2023 draft. They picked up his 5th-year option, but is he going to sit out until he gets a big-time contract and becomes one of the higher-paid corners in the NFL?
I think so. We got the report a couple days ago that the Seahawks are prepared to make him the highest-paid corner in the league. This just feels like he's the next guy for that to happen for, right? I bet he gets it.
Jahmyr Gibbs, he's on this list, of course, who now we know is shown up to camp and is sitting out. He is not out on the practice field. He could be negotiating with Brad Holmes right now for all we know. That is strange, too, because it's like, okay, if you're not going to be out on the field with all your teammates just kind of like watching practice, what are you doing in the training facility? What are you doing at the facility? Like, what else is there to do other than negotiate your contract? I feel like that's just what's happening right now as we speak.
Yeah. I don't know. We've obviously made our stance on the Gibbs stuff. I just, like, over under this lingers a week.
That's a good line. Under.
I sure hope so.
I just don't want this to be
who gets paid first, him or Gibbs or Bajan?
That I have no idea.
Yeah.
I just hope that this isn't a cloud that lingers over training camp. I think training camp's a really exciting time to start talking about like some interesting position battles, some new groups. I just don't want this to be the story that consumes all of training camp when other players could shine in this moment.
I think there's going to be a different story that will consume training camp, and that's we got a new picture of Drew Petzing.
He's so ugly.
That I just sent you. No, dude, he's got aura now. I just sent it to you on Twitter.
What is
he's rocking shades. Looks kind of clean, dude. All right, Drew Petzing.
Those don't look like shades. Those just look like regular glasses.
Yeah, glasses. I don't know, dude. I think he kind of looks. He's looking clean in that.
He doesn't have a neck.
Okay.
He just has shoulders and then a head on top of his shoulders. There's no neck.
This photo's a lot better than his headshot. That's for sure.
Yeah, he looks like the derpiest guy ever in his headshot.
He's just roasting him.
Bijan Robinson's also on this list. Not a surprise.
Quite similar to the Jahmyr Gibbs situation. Precisely similar.
Christian Gonzalez also looking to become the highest paid cornerback in the NFL. Puka Nacua on this list, by the way.
This is an interesting one.
This is maybe the most interesting one.
Yes, because Nacua, obviously, like the reason why the Rams have been so deadly is that he has just been able to play on this, rookie, extremely small rookie deal because he was taken in like the 5th or 6th round. It's weird because the way that the Rams phrased the Myles Garrett trade was like, yeah, they're willing to trade Jared Verse for Myles Garrett because they don't plan on paying any of their young guys.
I know,
and
right?
Puka Nacua is included. It's like, what do you mean you don't plan on? They have like good young guys. It's not like they have guys that aren't worth being paid.
And also, it's not like a running back where there's these holdouts all the time and then it gets messy. Like wide receivers just get paid. It just happens because you don't survive without your top wide receiver. You have to have an alpha wide receiver to win a Super Bowl. Like unless you have Patrick Mahomes on your team. You have to. So we've never seen it come to this where a wide receiver's sitting out and they're not going to pay him.
Well, and I've also understood the stance. Like, I think the main reason why the Rams said that was like, if we're going to pay guys, we want the guys that are the best in the league at this position. If we're going to give them the huge extensions. That's kind of what the Verse Myles Garrett argument was. They have a couple other young guys, Kobe Turner, Braden Fisk, that kind of fit into this as well. Puka, though, it's Puka, man. Like, he's one of the best receivers in the league, but he had all the weird stuff this offseason.
Yeah.
There's a lot of reasons to not pay him. You do, though. You pay
Well,
Puka.
he might just need to be a guy where it's like, hey, we need to make sure
They
you're
probably wait this thing out. Yeah.
You're good up here between the ears.
But also, is he a guy that's ever going to be good up there?
I mean, there was never any sort of signs that he wasn't good up there up until
That's
about
true.
January.
Like last season, yeah, just kind of out of nowhere. It was like, oh, wow, Puka's like a psycho. Like, he's kind of a nutcase.
Yeah, because remember, he hopped on Twitter, blamed the refs immediately following a game. He had those that game was like days after his anti-Semitic comments on a social stream. And
then he kept going on streams. Yeah, he had like the clip of him in the Super Bowl when he was just like trashed in the streets, going up to people.
Then he allegedly bit somebody.
He went to a rehab. Like, that was a big thing. Yeah, like a very weird offseason for Puka. I think you still pay him, though.
That's around the league.
Okay.
All right, this is the Ben Bosscher Show. We're live here on 100.9 The Mid. Hey, Mid-Michigan, do your eyes feel itchy, dry, or irritated? That is not normal, and Mid-Modern Eye Care and Dry Eye Clinic specializes in dry eye treatment that actually works. If your eyes burn or water or feel tired from screens, they can help you get real lasting relief. From advanced dry eye care to exams, glasses, and contacts, they've got you covered. Stop dealing with discomfort and start seeing comfortably again. See better, feel better with Mid-Modern Eye Care and Dry Eye Clinic next to Kroger in Midland.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mix. By Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
Well, we already discussed Kirby Joseph. Dan Campbell does not expect him to play week 1. We already discussed Jahmyr Gibbs not being at training camp or the first practice day 1 because of a contract holdout. What else did Dan Campbell tell us this morning? I think the most interesting thing he said was, obviously besides the injury updates, there were some interesting notes he gave on the corners. He said he expects DJ Reed and Rocky Yassin to both stick on the outside. But as for Ennis Rakestraw, he said they plan on getting him reps on the inside and the outside. And then as for Roger McCreary and Keith Abney, who they drafted in the 4th round, those are nickel corners who will also get some reps on the outside as well. I think the most interesting part is that they're just giving Ennis Rakestraw runway to start wherever. Like, yeah, you're going to rep on the outside, you're going to rep on the inside. They're just giving Ennis Rakestraw as much opportunity as possible. And that's someone that we had completely written off as someone who will never contribute for the Lions again. Again, 46 career snaps through 2 games, or through 2 seasons. I'm somewhat bullish on it right now. I don't really know why. Maybe it's because there's not really any other options. But there is a runway for him to be a starter come week 1. I'm not predicting it necessarily. I think it will be DJ Reed and Rocky Yassin. But if Ennis Rakestraw is starting out there week 1, that's a really positive sign.
Yeah, I think even the conversation being had is a good sign. Now, obviously, like the Terrion Arnold situation is what has kind of created this. I think if Terrion Arnold never had any of this stuff happen this offseason, we're probably not talking much about Ennis Rakestraw getting reps at all. But the situation is what it is. And so I think it's important that even when the cornerback room was brought up, one of the first things he said is, Rake is going to get every opportunity. He's going to, be able to get reps on the outside, inside. We're going to try him here, there. And he said that's a guy who we knew when he came back from injury was going to contribute. I think that's important to hear that because Dan Campbell, one thing that we really have always appreciated about him is he is upfront. He is honest. He is truthful in these press conferences. He tells you what's going on with guys injury-wise. He tells you what's going on as far as what kind of reps and just opportunity that they're going to get. The fact that that's the first thing that he brought up in the cornerback room, I think is important. And even if he isn't like the winner of training camp or whatever you want to call it, it's just important regardless that he is going to be involved because if he can stay healthy, like this guy is a former 2nd-round pick at the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
Like, maybe he could turn out to be the Lions' outside corner. Who really knows?
I don't think he'll get the opportunity. He'll get the opportunity. I don't think he'll win the inside job because to play nickel corner, you basically have to be like a tiny linebacker who loves playing downhill and getting after people and attacking the line of scrimmage. I don't really think that's Ennis Rakestraw, but then again, I've never really seen this guy play because he's had 46 total snaps. So I don't know. Maybe he is a dog that likes to get inside the trenches and play downhill. And if that's not the case, okay, then he'll be more suited on the outside to where he's going backwards more often than not to cover receivers. I'm very intrigued by this situation. They did note that Roger McCreary and Keith Abney would both get some reps on the outside too, but those are nickel corners for the most part right now. I am really intrigued to see who ends up winning that job. I think Roger McCreary should be the favorite, but I'm really fascinated by Keith Abney. I really liked him. Honestly, Kyle, this entire 2026 draft class, I think is fascinating every step of the way during training camp. And I didn't think that last year. Like, we knew what Tyleik Williams was going to be. This year, they've got 3 to 4 guys where it's like, how are you guys going to, like, you guys could contribute right away if you just do well in camp. 2 very strong candidates in Blake Miller and Derek Moore. And then Keith Abney being that third guy, and then Jimmy Rolder kind of out there too. I'm excited to see what the rookies are able to do, and I'm excited to read all the beat reporters who got to watch camp today, because that's the first thing that I'm going to be looking for is how did the rookies perform. But this secondary is, you labeled it the most important part. the most intriguing position going into camp. So the fact that they're promoting Ennis Rakestraw, not promoting him to like a starter, but just promoting him the way that they're talking about him, I think is pretty fascinating.
And like as
expected,
essentially every name that's in that group got mentioned today. You know, which is that's the fun part of, okay, we're really going to see who has a good month or so here in training camp before they decide who's a part of that real group.
I think my betting favorite for week 1 starters in the secondary is DJ Reed as the outside corner, Rocky Sin as the outside corner, Roger McCreary as the nickel. I would go Christian Izzian, who's got a little bit of a stomach bug right now. I'd go Christian Izzian and Avonte Maddox as your 2 safeties. Or those guys are kind of similar, like they are downhill players. You really don't like that.
No.
Good depth pieces. I don't know if they're good starters. Maybe it's one of them and then Chuck Clark, who's I think more of a true free safety. I mean, you're just out on all these guys.
This is week 1. Oh man, this sounds like week 10 after 4 guys have hit the injury report.
Well, I really thought Kirby Joseph was going to be playing week 1,
man.
and it turns out he's not going to be, according to Dan Campbell. Like, he'd be very shocked if he was.
The good news is if we go in with low expectations for the secondary, then that means some guys could really prove us wrong.
I do think the very best case scenario for this Lions defense this year is like above average.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think they can be a great unit. Even though they have blue chip players at every level.
With the way their secondary is, there's just no way. There's no way they can be like a good defense.
Which is shameful because they're not that far away from being a great defense, you know?
Yeah.
Because they have blue chippers at every level.
Hopefully they can hone back in on the previous Lions defenses where they can at least be elite at stopping the run. At least they can hang their hat on that.
They got rid of all their nose tackles.
But they need to hang their hat on something, right? They can't just be like bad against both. But we have Aiden Hutchinson. He gets to the quarterback, like that.
What if they're just elite at getting after the quarterback this year? Like they're top 5 in sacks and all of their pass rush numbers, like because their advanced numbers weren't great last year.
That will help the secondary.
What if it's like, oh, this is just one of the best pass rushes in the NFL? That would be fantastic. This is the Ben Bosscher Show live here on the Mitt. Back to Tarek Skubal. Potentially his very last start happening in a matter of 2 hours in a Tigers uniform. We shall see. What do we think? What do we expect from his potential last start here coming up? And, of course, an offensive explosion yesterday all coming up next.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
Electric Studios. This is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mid. WLUN, Pinconning Bay City, Saginaw, Midland.
All right, everybody, make your prediction. Is this going to be the very last time we see Tarek Skubal suit up in the old English D? It's a 1 o'clock start. It's the series finale against the Baltimore Orioles. Looking to win the series today. Do we think this is going to be the last start? And how long is Tarek Skubal going to be out on the mound? He's at 999 career strikeouts. I expect him to get that final strikeout. I don't really expect him to pitch a normal outing, though. I would guess he pitches 3 or less innings. If I was running the Tigers, would have him go get that strikeout, finish the first inning, and then take him out of the game. I don't think he should be playing today. I think we should have already seen the last Tarek Skubal strikeout. Now, from an optics standpoint, sell out arena on a Wednesday day game, make a ton of money. Sure, let him go have that moment. Give him his standing O. I only really want to see him out there in the first inning. You got to preserve him. There's a risk of him being out there every single pitch that he throws. Just random stuff happens in baseball games. I would like him to not get injured at any point. So 1 inning, 1 strikeout. That would be what I would say. I think he's going to go a little bit more than that. I'd be shocked if he went a full 7 innings.
I got a conspiracy theory.
Okay.
Tarek Skubal wants to be on the Tigers the rest of the season so bad, right? Oh, I want to be here so bad for this year. I want to compete. I want to go for the playoffs. Tarek Skubal gets the strikeout. Ooh, I had a little slip on the mound there. Oh, no. Skubal's got to come out of the game. Oh, man, he might have tweaked something. All fake so that they don't trade him, and he stays with the Tigers the rest of the year.
Wow.
Screws over the Tigers because they can't trade him. Oh, I want to be here. I want to compete. I want to do this and that and blah, blah, blah. Now they don't even get anything in return for him. It's definitely not going to happen.
Conspiracy
it's definitely
theory.
not going to happen, but, like, it's gotten to a point where Skubal, like, the animosity that is somewhere between Skubal and the Tigers. Like Chris mentioned this earlier, there's going to be this huge round of applause for Tarek Skubal today. Of course there is. I don't disagree with that. But there is still all the fans that are just ready to move off of him. Like, they just are it feels already over at this point.
Sure, but once you
being
get
there
into the
yes,
arena or to the stadium,
exactly. Being in the ballpark, like,
you're giving him his flowers.
Of course, I'm not saying I wouldn't. I just think that you're ready. Everyone has accepted fate at this point. It feels like. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm off on that. I have. It feels like most people in my circle have as well.
I think the people who... I think a lot of people have made peace with it. Like, yes, Tarek Skubal might not be on the team, and that is okay. That doesn't mean the people at that stadium and you watching the game today shouldn't really enjoy this Tarek Skubal outing, even if it's only one
it hasn't
inning.
really hit me, and I don't think it will until he's out there throwing the first pitch. Like, this is the last time he's going to pitch for my favorite team. This guy is the back-to-back Cy Young.
I don't think it'll
crazy.
hit me until he is wearing a different uniform.
Yeah, probably.
That's when it'll be like, holy cow, I can't believe this. I can't believe we traded Tarek Skubal. Then again, I totally can believe it because it's what they should do.
But it is just a crazy thing at the end of the day, yeah.
You went around asking people yesterday for a social clip, the percent chance of him being traded, and we got answers from 10% to 0% to 99%. I'd said 65%. I think after last night, still just keep it at 65%. What's your answer? Because you didn't ask yourself.
I never ask myself. That's the whole point. Probably like 85%.
That he does get moved.
Yeah, I will continuously say this. I think based off of what the post-game media session after his start Friday night was all I needed to know. Like that was a very tumultuous type of conversation that he was having with the media that was just very like, oh, I'm focused on this year. Like, I don't care about the trade deadline. I want to be here. I've told all of you guys this for as long as possible. And then they go, okay, well then, like, do you want to be here next year? I'm focused on this year. Okay, you could just say I want to be here next year. Like, clearly he's ready to go too. And I think the Jake Rogers thing, to Chris's point from earlier too, I think that is kind of the first
page
inkling.
To turn.
Yeah, like that is the beginning. That is okay. That is Skubal's boy. Everybody forgets the fact that Tarek Skubal would not start a game if Jake Rogers wasn't catching. And when Dylan Dingler had to start with Skubal for the first time last year. It was like a huge deal. And then ever since then, it was like obvious. Oh, yeah, Jake Rogers isn't going to start all these Skubal starts.
Yeah.
But like Rogers and Skubal were homeboys.
I think Rogers was homeboys with basically everybody. But
Sure,
it speaks to the
but
turning
like
of the page.
pitcher-catcher thing is
Yeah.
It's a different type of thing, you
But
know?
it does speak to the, like, we're moving on. Like, there was the pre-Skubal Tigers and there was the post-Skubal Tigers. And, well, I guess it'd be the Skubal Tigers and the post-Skubal Tigers. Like, I said this a long time ago. I think we're entering the McGonigal era. We've been in the Skubal era for the last couple of years. Like, what have the Tigers done with Tarek
And what
Skubal?
did they do in the Skubal era?
They made the
Nothing.
playoffs twice.
They did
That's it.
nothing.
Now we're in the McGonigal era. Like, and it's ironic that McGonigal's rookie season, Skubal, they're going to overlap a little bit. Skubal ends up getting moved at this deadline, and whatever they do this postseason is the McGonigal era. Like, I really do think we're just entering a different. Now, there's going to be a little bit of players that, get to be in both. Like, Riley Green's going to be the best example of that. Dylan Dingler played in both, but like,
A lot of guys are going to play in both, like the whole team, man.
but I really think the team might look a lot different next couple years. And all the success that McGonigal can bring and all the chances that they'll have at, going into a World Series, or going into a postseason. This is just like a completely different group of guys that we're like, really excited about, I think. Like, even look at the pitching. It's Troy Melton. It's Jackson Jobe. It's Montero. Those are the core guys that every Tigers fan is the most excited about. It's not Tarek Skubal, Casey Mize, Jack Flaherty, because that was the trio for the longest time. That's not the case anymore. I think we're entering a new territory, and I think Jake Rogers getting moved on from him was the first sign of it.
I think so, too. And I also believe that once you do get off of Skubal, it is just an immediate weight lifted off your shoulders. Like, once the trade is made, it's like, okay, we can finally actually watch this team normally.
Yeah.
We can just like be
We can have normal
baseball
radio
fans.
topics.
We can talk about the team. Everything doesn't have to point. Like last night, the Tigers go off 14-0. Troy Melton goes off, and the first thing we're saying is, but
how does
still
this
trade
impact
Skubal?
How does this impact the Tarek Skubal trade?
Like it will lift a sense of like, and not even just for us, for the guys on the team. Think about what's happened every post-game presser. It's talking to Skubal. It's an article. The next article comes out. Oh, now the Tigers have won a game. They might not trade him. Oh, the Tigers lost last night. They're going to trade Skubal now.
That's a lot of pressure on your team to perform.
It's just a lot of pressure for literally everybody involved. For Skubal, for the players, for the fans, for the media. There's just so much going on that once we are to Tuesday next week, it will add a sense of, okay, this is the team now. This is the team going forward. We can focus on that. What is our expectation for this team? What does our expectation for the team next year look like? Everything. Steven in our YouTube chat says, I think Skubal is going to get moved, and yes, he will be pulled quickly today. Tigers need to go and take the best offer for Skubal. A comp pick is not enough. Of course, they would get the comp pick for him walking in free agency. I agree.
Yeah. I don't think a comp pick is enough, and I know you can point to a handful of different comp picks that panned out, like, Aaron Judge was a comp pick.
Kevin McGonigal
was a comp pick. Do you want to go through all the comp picks that didn't work out?
Yeah,
Because that's probably a much longer
20
list.
of them every year, yeah.
That's the part that I don't understand about that argument. I also don't really understand well, I guess I kind of understand it, just the PTSD factor of like, well, when they traded Verlander, it was for absolutely nothing. It was Jake Rogers. It's like, okay, but that's not how every trade works.
Yeah, that's like the worst trade. You're literally
Right.
handpicking the worst one.
Correct. I can go find some great ones too, but like it's odds are it's probably going to be somewhere in the middle. Are you going to get a player as good as Tarek Skubal? No, of course not. Like that's what people are afraid. Oh, we're not going to find a pitcher better than this. Yeah, I know.
But you're going to lose him anyways. Like that's
So go try to find somebody who can help.
Yeah, exactly. Just anything at all. It's better than just losing him for nothing, which it is funny though that the Rogers DFA does happen and now we can like fully put a bow on the Verlander trade the week that the next Cy Young winner in a Tigers uniform is likely to get traded. It's kind of funny and
good
and
storytelling.
Full circle moment that it's happening the same week. So do we think the Tigers won or lost that trade now that it's fully over?
I would say they lost it.
Are you sure? Because Verlander's still on the damn team.
Are we sure?
Yeah, the Tigers traded.
Are we sure he is?
The Tigers traded Verlander for Jake Rogers, Daz Cameron, and I forget the other guy's name, Franklin Perez maybe. And the only guy that's on the team now from that trade is Verlander himself.
Who's pitched in a grand total of 3 2/3 innings.
Which is
this
funny,
season.
actually, because we've been talking about the second half of the Tigers like the whole show and have not mentioned his name a single time. He's just going to be on the team and will
And
pitch.
he will pitch eventually.
He will pitch, yeah. That's another guy that gets added in the rotation. Yeah, dude, trade Casey Mize. Come on, man.
Do you think that, like, Verlander's maybe healthy right now, and they're just kind of, like, doing one of
Let's
these,
just wait.
Like, yeah, you don't. Let's just wait.
Oh, you know
it's
what
like
good-
LeBron
yeah.
with sciatica last year at the beginning of the season. It's just like, you could probably play, but, like,
Yeah,
let's just wait.
We have this
thing out.
Scooble storyline going right now. Once that's over, then we'll start this one.
Yeah,
That'll get people here.
Honestly, doesn't it feel like there are script writers for the Tigers' last 3 years? Like, doesn't it feel like the Tigers are just a purely entertaining drama? This could be like a Netflix drama of, like, yeah, do you want to see the most hot and cold turmoil baseball team of all time? Welcome to the 2020 Detroit Tigers, or 2020's
just
Detroit
the last
Tigers.
3 years of the Tigers.
How's it going to end? And now we're in, like, season 3, and it's like, oh, my God, is
Yeah.
Derek School actually going to get...
And like, is this the finale? Like, is there going to even be another season after this? Like, I don't know.
They can't do this show without Tarek Skubal. Oh, yes, they can. It's like when Michael leaves The Office. It's like, no, this is actually going to
They
keep
did
going.
The Office without Michael.
You didn't know that?
I never watched it. There's seasons without Steve
You just
Carell
hate
in The
TV
Office.
shows, don't you?
No, I just never like. No, I don't hate TV shows.
Yeah, there's like a whole
There's just
3
too much.
seasons
There's too
worth
much
of
going on.
The Office.
It
without
had to have
Steve Carell.
sucked. There's no way they
Yeah,
had Michael Scott.
It was not as good without
Yeah,
Michael
what?
Scott.
That's actually dumb.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler. If we're spoiling
out for
The
15
Office for
years.
someone, yeah, that's actually messed up. Yeah.
It does, like, the whole last 2 months have felt like a TV story for the Tigers.
2 months, 2.5 years.
Yeah.
It's to go from what happened in 2024. Like, I saw the clip today has been circling just because, you know, a lot of thanking Jake Rogers for his time in Detroit, which is cool, like a fan favorite and a clubhouse favorite. He started the rally against Cleveland in Game 4 when Cleveland was up 2-1, the Kerry Carpenter home run game that forced a Game 5. He started the rally. He got a base hit in the ninth off Emmanuel Clase, who had retired like 30,000 hitters in a row or something up to that point.
Mm-hmm.
And
While throwing a ball,
it was the first 2 guys to get hits that led to the Kerry Carpenter 3-run home run, Jake Rogers and Trey Sweeney.
What a duo.
Both got base hits before Kerry's home run.
The Tigers, certified Netflix drama series. That's what's
It'd
been
be
happening.
good. I would so watch a 3-year documentary, 3-part series, whatever it is, about the last 3 years of the Tigers.
Well, this game today could be an episode of its own.
And then imagine they trade him and they go on a run and make the playoffs again and win the World Series.
I kind of feel like that's going to happen. Not the World Series part, but the trade him and still go on a run. The way that they're playing, I like, you make a good point that it's a lot of weight lifted off of their shoulders
Yeah.
if they move off of him, and that there's just like a dark cloud that gets removed. Not that Tarek Skubal's causing it, but just it comes with him no matter what.
Oh,
It's
of
been
course it
following
does.
him for a long time.
And it's honestly going to go wherever he gets traded to as well. Like,
Yeah, because the free agency thing still is going to loom.
that's the thing. This guy, Tarek Skubal, I think it will be revealed a little bit more. He is a diva superstar. It's not just Detroit that is causing this. Oh, Detroit doesn't want to pay him. It's caused Tarek Skubal to turn this way. I think wherever he goes, the fans are going to realize, like, oh, okay, this guy's got some baggage with him. He's got some drama with him for sure.
Yeah, he's very much about himself.
Which, like,
not
is
that
fine.
he's not a team player,
A lot
but
of
like
superstars are that way. Like, it's just how it is. But
he wants the glory. He wants the glory, and that's fine. He wants to win. But I also think that there's a little bit like I'm going to do what's best for me at all times with Tarek Skubal. It's the Ben Bosscher Show live here on the Mitt. The 11 o'clock hour is brought to you by Yiter Insurance. Life happens fast, and at Yiter Insurance, they're here to make sure you're covered every step of the way. Locally owned, trusted in Midland for decades, they treat you like family, not just another policy number. From home and auto to business and life insurance, Yiter is the right coverage for every stage of life. Their team makes insurance simple with expert advice and real people you can actually talk to. That's Yiter Insurance Group. They'll be there when you need them since 1940. Hey, Crane's L&M Appliance Center, they've been serving the Tri-City area with quality home appliances from refrigerators and washers to stoves and dishwashers, backed by friendly, knowledgeable staff that you can count on. They make getting the right appliance easy with delivery and professional installation, haul away from your old unit, and even financing options to fit your budget. Stop in a Crane's L&M Appliance Center today and discover dependable brands and great values for every home in your room, or every room in your home.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mix. By Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
Scooble could be taking the last trip to the mound here in a matter of an hour and a half. Tigers in action at 1 o'clock today for their series finale against Baltimore. That probably is just the story of the day. But Jahmyr Gibbs not being at training camp is a very close second. Very close second is Jahmyr Gibbs not being at practice day one, holding out because of a contract. Now, this is more of a precursor for what's potentially going to happen. But this does set up like, hey, eyes over here for a little bit. We should probably take note about what's going on over at Allen Park. I still think my panic meter for this is like a 1 or 2, probably like a 2. I don't think that this is going to bleed into the season or even training camp, like once real practice begins with pads and you got preseason coming up. I think by even preseason week 1, this is obviously going to be resolved. I would guess in the next 2 weeks it's going to be resolved. I would put the line at like next Friday, a week from Friday, is it resolved? And I would probably take the under, as in like it will be resolved by next Friday. But it's certainly like a, hey, we should probably keep tabs on what's going on over there in Allen Park this week because Jahmyr Gibbs is not practicing, and that's obviously not a good thing.
Yeah, I'm a little scared. Like,
really?
right,
It seems like you might be like a 3 or 4.
I'm just like, I mean, it's not fun, right? It's not a good thing. I'm probably like a 2.5. Like but that's a little scared, right? It's like, it's kind of like when you're at the movies and like you're at a horror movie and you know the jump scare is gonna come, so you're like, oh, I'm like preparing for it, but you're prepared so that it hits you and you're like, ooh, okay, that only kind of got me a little.
I don't think it's quite
We
that
were
bad,
prepared
do
for
you?
this to happen. That's
We
what I'm saying,
knew
though.
it
Like,
was
oh, like,
possible.
okay, I'm
We
ready
knew it
for
was
this.
possible.
I'm ready for this. I'm like, oh, I'm gearing up for it. I got my eyes closed a little bit. Ooh, okay, that kind of got me just a little bit.
But it still doesn't mean anything quite yet. This is like the first time where it's like,
What do you mean it doesn't mean anything? It clearly means something.
How many? Okay, here's where we will get another Dan Campbell press conference tomorrow morning. Someone will obviously ask him about it directly.
It should be the first question asked, not, hey, it's pretty hot outside. Like, how's that?
I don't know who that was, but dude, what are we doing? It's not hot outside today, but like if it was, how would practice go? It'll be addressed tomorrow. Can I give you an update on like on my concern level then? Because right now I'm still only about a 2. I really feel like based on all the reports that have happened about him getting a contract extension soon, to me that tells Adam Schefter, to me that tells me Adam Schefter knew that there was going to be a holdout, and he knew that the Lions would fold. Or not fold, because again, I'm pretty conflicted on that too. I don't really love the idea of paying running backs, but unlike the Alex Anzalone situation, Jahmyr Gibbs has all the leverage. So the longer he sits out, the more it's like, yeah, we kind of just have to pay Jahmyr Gibbs. We don't really have a choice here. All the leverage in the world for Jahmyr Gibbs to just not be practicing right now. They need to get the reps in with the new offensive line. So conflicting feelings. I think the best thing that could possibly happen is Jahmyr Gibbs just ends up back on the
I
field.
got a good one. What happens first? Tarek Skubal gets traded or Jahmyr Gibbs practices?
That is a great question.
I think Tarek Skubal gets traded.
I
actually think it's
Tarek
kind of an
Skubal
easy
gets
answer.
traded.
Yeah, because that's Monday. They don't practice on the weekends on training camp, do they?
They do.
But
Not
like
every
full
day of
on?
the weekend. Well,
Like no way they do on like Sunday, right? Maybe they do. I guess I don't really. I feel like I should probably know this, but
Hold on. I have the schedule pulled up. Somebody sent it to me.
Because
the only
obviously-
day that the players have off is Saturday, August 1st. But they practice Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday,
okay,
Friday,
so they're off
Saturday.
this Saturday.
Yeah.
So they go Thursday, Friday, Sunday, Monday. That's 4 practices on top of today. So it'd be 5 total practices without Jahmyr Gibbs before Skubal would have to be traded by.
And I think the first day of pads is
It's
Friday?
next week. Oh, it's Friday. It's this early. Okay.
maybe. I think it's Friday. Usually they don't go. Usually it's just a few days
Yeah.
of no pads just to get everyone.
Yeah, I
back
think Skubal gets
accommodated.
traded first. Skubal gets traded first for sure.
I'm
But-
curious to see how Dan Campbell handles padded practice this year. Because remember,
He's handled it pretty differently in years past.
yeah, it was so aggressive, and then now they kind of are taking a different approach to it.
Everybody's getting hurt.
Yeah,
They're not
last year
even
they
doing
took
the
it a
joint
little
practice
easier.
this year with a team because they're like, we beat the crap out of Miami. What's the point of even doing that?
That might have been one of the most fun weeks of the year. It wasn't a very fun year last year. I'd say Baltimore, that was the best moment of the year, beating them at their place.
Yeah, that was fun.
But that whole week of reading all the stories about what's going on at training camp in Allen Park when Miami showed up.
The best was the Miami beat reporters. That was the best because they were just like, oh my God, Amon-Ra St. Brown is the best wide receiver in the NFL.
They were like, yeah, our team is soft. Our team is losers.
Like, this is an embarrassment what's happening in Allen. Like, this is unbelievable.
I kind of want to go find some of those stories and just like read blurbs from them. Miami versus Detroit preseason joint practice. Because the way they were talking about it was if it was like a varsity team versus the freshman team, just like there to just be practice dummies. That's the way that how one-sided it ended up being. This is on NFL.com from Nick Shook. Dolphins encounter frustrating day at joint practice with the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, frustrating is probably the PG way to put it.
Tua said, for a grade, I wouldn't give myself a grade. I don't think it's fair to grade yourself. Oh, that's so good.
That was fun. We're not going to get that this year.
I know.
Tough.
Yeah.
And Jahmyr Gibbs wouldn't even be there to kill the other team anyways. So,
All right. It's the Ben Bosscher Show live in the minute. We'll hit the news when we come back here on 100.9 FM. Before we do that, though, should let you know the Midland Area Community Foundation, they're dedicated to strengthening our community through generosity and connection, supporting local nonprofits, scholarships, and projects that make Midland a better place to live, work, and play. By the way, Midland Area River Days, a project that's coming to Midland by the Midland Community Foundation. That's coming starting tomorrow, July 30th through August 2nd, with hot air balloons, music, food, free fun, and fireworks. There's something for everybody at River Days. Just visit riverdaysmidland.com to see their full schedule and plan your visit.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid. by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
$90 until first pitch. Potentially the last time Tarek Skubal will have a first pitch in a Tigers uniform. Until then, Kyle, take it away with the news.
The Mets Morning Catch.
This feels like one of them games you just got to be crazy locked in for today.
Yeah.
Last school
I might
start.
stay here for it.
Honestly,
I'm undecided.
1 o'clock? That's going to be tough. Maybe I'll have to put the gym on pause for today.
Yeah.
Okay, anyways, back into the news. Community calendar. It's always presented by Bresky Siding and Building Repair. It's Wednesday. You know the deal. Farmers Market here, downtown Midland, back of Dow Diamond. You only got 90 minutes to get out there, so I got a perfect idea. Go to the farmers market, get some food, go back to wherever you're at, and watch the Tigers.
Sounds amazing.
Sounds like a perfect thing. Honestly, I might have to do it. Okay, other stuff going on in the news. Some other things that were mentioned at the Dan Campbell press conference. Christian Mahogany is absent for a few days. The Lions placed him on the NFI list. That's the non-football injury list. Dan Campbell said they expect him to be back in a few days. So, of course, he is the leader in the clubhouse to be the starting left guard for the Lions, expected to be at least. So, that's the update for him. He also addressed the team about Terrion Arnold's release, said, quote, "It's unfortunate, but we made the move that we felt was best for us," and didn't really mention much more than that on it, which, I mean, we're pretty far past it at this point.
What else is he going to say?
Yeah. Okay, other stuff going on in the news. Mentioned Baker Mayfield to play out his deal with the Bucs and become a free agent. That is interesting. We haven't seen a quarterback of his caliber become a free agent since... I guess Sam Darnold being a free agent a couple years ago is probably similar territory.
Yeah, but Baker has developed much more of a reputation than Sam Darnold did when he hit free agency.
And Baker, when he signed with the Bucs, was kind of a big deal. That was via free agency as well. Obviously, he's a much more established quarterback at this point in his career than he was when he signed with Tampa. So we'll see. Maybe he does end up ultimately re-signing with them after the season is over. But that's going to make some fun speculation going into next offseason. That's for sure. And just for this year, like what team could be the Baker team?
I hated Baker Mayfield when he was on the Rams for the sole reason that he led that comeback against
Seattle.
Yeah, it was Seattle, which ended up costing the Lions a playoff game. That was like week 16 or 17 that happened.
Well, Seattle won. We needed Baker and the Rams to beat them, and and they did not beat Seattle.
No, it was the other way around, wasn't it? No, it had something to do with the draft pick.
No, it was the Rams had to beat Seattle to get into for the Lions to get in, and they lost.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Brutal day. And there was a nasty pass interference call that didn't happen.
It was a terrible. And then the Lions had to play after it. It was the worst.
Yeah.
But that game was really fun. It was like an emotional game for sure. But other quarterback news: Justin Herbert got engaged to his celebrity girlfriend Madison Beer. Do they become the new hottest celebrity NFL couple? You've got Josh Allen and Haley Steinfeld. You've got Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift. I don't know. Herbert and Madison Beer? It's pretty good, dude.
Define hottest.
I mean, they're the hottest couple.
For sure.
Yes.
They blow everybody else out of the water.
Obviously, the Kelce and Swift will never be touched. And Allen and Steinfeld are certainly more famous.
Bigger stars, yeah.
Yeah, bigger
I have
stars.
no idea what Madison Beer is famous for. Does she make music?
She makes
act?
music, I believe. Yes. She was. She's a. I think she was just a model, and then now she makes music. I believe that's her. I believe that's her thing. I don't know if she's ever acted. Maybe she has.
Good for Herbert, man.
Yeah. I don't think they've been together that long either. So
a couple of years,
yeah,
maybe.
they're already engaged.
I always see the memes that are like, "Oh, I'm Justin Herbert. I'm 6'6". I live in Los Angeles. I date Madison Beer, and now I'm engaged to her." And I always see those, and I'm like, "Dude, this guy's living a great life. Why are we hating on him?"
Is he living a great life? He's never won a playoff game.
Dude, I see that too, and I'm like, okay, does that mean Nick Foles is just better than Justin Herbert? He's won a playoff game. Does that make him just better?
Okay, but if no top 5 quarterback in conversation has 0 playoff wins,
except for Justin Herbert.
That's what I'm saying. That's can we take him that
Stafford
seriously?
for the longest time.
That's a good point, but he was never top 5.
He was putting up top 5 statistics.
Yeah, but people never talked about Stafford like they talked about Herbert when he was a Lion. He was always
I think
the guy.
It's very similar.
I agree it is, but people didn't refer to Stafford that way. Because, like, at least the Chargers have good years. They just lose in the playoffs. They have the opportunity, and they lose, you know?
Yeah.
That's more so what it is.
It's not like he's ever played phenomenally. But, again, last year, 2 offensive tackles, both out. He was lucky when he didn't get sacked.
Yeah. Today is a good day, though, because 5 years ago today, the Pistons drafted Cade Cunningham first overall in the 2021 NBA draft. I got a Snapchat memory of this today. And I was wearing my Sadiq Bey Pistons jersey.
The day itself wasn't all that, like the draft night wasn't all that enthusiastic because at that point we had known that they were going to draft Cade Cunningham. But I do remember specifically at that time Adrian Wojnarowski announcing that morning, hey, in case there was any speculation, the Pistons are going to take Cade Cunningham today.
And I miss Woj. Shams would have been like, yeah, they might take Cade, but you can get Evan Mobley right now at plus 280 on FanDuel Sportsbook if you want to do that.
The day they won the lottery was the much bigger day.
Oh, it was that
greatest day of my life.
Yeah, it's an unbelievable day. I remember. Yeah, I will always remember that. Okay, Michigan versus Houston men's basketball, an exhibition to be played at Van Andel in Grand Rapids, August 25th. That was confirmed. So that's pretty cool. I believe there is another. There's another basketball game being played at Van Andel outside of this one as well. I can't remember what it is, if it's Pistons preseason or something like that.
Really cool stuff.
They're doing 2 basketball games in Grand Rapids this year. Now Michigan versus Houston is added into that.
Do you have any interest in have you ever been to Van Andel?
Yeah.
Pretty good venue.
Yeah.
Not a bad seat in the house.
No, it's a pretty solid venue, yeah.
I think that'd be really fun to go to. I have no idea what a ticket would be for this. I can't imagine it'd be much.
No.
It's an exhibition across the state, but
we could go. We could try to cover it, you know.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Sunday?
I'm down. Oh, that's what it is? October 25th?
Yeah.
Then we're going to have NFL. I don't want to go to this.
Never mind. I don't care.
Yeah, I'm so out. Who do the Lions play on October 25th? Now I'm interested. Because what if it's like a bye game? Be good if they set it up that way. October 25th. Oh, yeah, they don't play on. No, I lied. I looked at the wrong week. They play Green Bay.
Oh.
Yeah. 4:25 at home. Yeah. I mean,
so it's
no
like
way.
it's like one of those games where there's just rage filled inside of you all day until 4:25.
Yeah, like I'm watching the 1 p.m. games. Like I don't even care about these games.
I hate the Packers.
Yes.
Hate them.
Okay, a couple more things here in the news, and then we will get to our couple traditions to end every show. Baseball news. Dodgers say that Shohei Ohtani, his knee is improving, but his bicep is still an issue. His return to the mound is still up in the air. This is the reason that Shohei, didn't participate in the All-Star game, but the reason why they haven't had him pitch in some weeks is because of a bicep tweak that he had. So they don't know when he's going to return to pitching.
What's the knee injury?
I don't know. He's got 2 injuries.
I mean, I don't think the Dodgers would just totally shut him down because he probably wants to win the MVP award. But, like,
he probably wants to. He's going to win it. Like,
I mean, not if he just gets shut down. But, like, there is, because part of me, you say that, and I'm like, they should probably just rest him for, like, a good 3 weeks to let him get fully healthy ahead of the postseason. Because it is just a lot on your body to do both all year, and the fact that he has a lower and an upper body injury, like they probably should
DH like is the nice part. He doesn't have to play defensively, but.
Right? But the smart man, it's not as he was minus 400 like 2 weeks ago, and now he's minus 145.
I think people are gaining steam that Pete Crow Armstrong could win the MVP
I hope it's Shohei.
If Shohei does miss some time, so and he hasn't been pitching, like it essentially does like lower his value. Obviously.
Sure, but Pete Crow Armstrong doesn't have a 1 point.
Yeah, he doesn't pitch at all.
ERA.
Yeah, exactly. So, okay, one more thing in the news. The Red Sox, who just made the trade, Curtis Mead for Connolly Early. Curtis Mead broke his wrist in his Red Sox debut and needs to be placed on the IL. Oh, my gosh.
They got Danhausen.
How mad would I be if I was a Red Sox fan? This trade that already had fans kind of up in the air. Oh, man, kind of a wild trade to do. But sure, you could talk yourself into Mead maybe turning this into a solid career in Red Sox as he's young too. Breaks his wrist in his debut.
They got Danhausen. They got cursed.
Did they actually get cursed?
I don't know.
They might have.
What a crappy thing to happen. Imagine we trade Scooble and like the first time he's out there, it's just like elbow explodes.
I mean, I'd be so mad. It'd be the worst.
If they traded him and that happened?
Or sorry, like if you're saying like for the other team?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying if I was a fan of the other team, like I'd be livid. I do got to add this actually in the news. Cooper Rush signing with the Falcons today because Tua has a little bit of an injury scare, and they waived their other backup quarterback, and Penix obviously isn't healthy.
And he might just be better than both those guys.
He might be. He just is. Fire up chips.
Fire up chips. 989-837-6125. This is the Ben Bosscher Show live here on 100.9 The Mid. If you're looking for financial advice and a steady hand when it comes to your future, Kevin Spencer with Edward Jones right here in our community takes the time to understand what matters most to you and helps build a strategy to get you there. Reach out to Kevin Spencer at Edward Jones today because your goals deserve a plan that's personal.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9. Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
All right, we have 3 traditions to close out each and every single show before the Tigers start at 1 o'clock, which is potentially the last Derek Skubal start. First tradition, lock of the day.
Lock of the day.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
It's the lock of the day. Kyle, it's the lock of the day. And the lock of the day hit yesterday.
What?
It hit.
No.
Caitlin Clark hit not 1,
No way.
not 2, not 3, but 4 threes yesterday. And we only needed her to hit 3.
Not 2, not 3, not 4.
It was 4, actually, but sorry, LeBron. Somebody earlier in the YouTube chat, by the way, I got to find this because I thought it was pretty funny, said, what's more likely to happen? More surprising, Gibbs not practicing or Ben hitting his lock of the day yesterday?
Ayo. I watched this game, too. After the Tigers ended, I was watching the post-gamer for a while. I thought, the crew does a really good job. I like the point that they made about Valencia's spirit not breaking when they sent him back down, and he felt like as soon as he got called back up, like he was a big leaguer. Love the post-game stuff that they do. Broadcast yesterday was just fun in general.
What do you think about them being down on the first base or like next to the dugout? Basically?
I thought that was really fun.
Yeah, it was cool.
I love just like
cool
all the
stuff.
personalities. I know Dirks can be a little bit of a dad sometimes, just kind of be dorky,
The
but
fact
that's
that
kind
he
of his
pulled
whole
up,
thing.
the fact that he pulled up for that too and brought him like stuff and he wasn't even like on the job.
Well,
like he was just in his t-shirt and jeans.
Same
like,
with Bruce, right?
Yeah,
well,
it's just
Bruce was
super funny.
working, but like
Bruce was, yeah.
But Johnny Kane was at the desk, so they just had like everybody there.
Yeah.
It was really cool. I loved the meta glasses segment. I just thought they always know how to have a good time, and I think
fun.
that's the most
I thought
enjoyable
that
part.
I didn't even think Benetti and Petrie could see the field though. It seemed like they were sitting awfully low. They had all the monitors, obviously it didn't matter, but I was like, dude, these guys can't even see.
Petrie was like, I can't believe how fast these guys are. Like, yeah,
dude, you played baseball. Like, what do you mean?
I liked Guess the Tiger too. Prince Fielder and Andy Dirks just like guessed it in 3 seconds. Good stuff. As soon as this was done, I turned on the WNBA game. I was thoroughly entertained. Ball moves around. There may not be dunks, but you know what? There's incredible basketball IQ.
Ball moves around. That's all it takes for you to be excited, right?
I just like good passing and stuff. Like, one thing
watch a third grade basketball game. They're passing the ball. You're excited?
No. There is not good passing in third grade basketball. There's not good passing anywhere but high levels of basketball now because everybody wants to play individual ball. But I thought, I turned it on, and the first possession I saw, you're drawing in defenders, kicking it out, finding the corners. First one I saw, girl was on the right corner, drove in, engaged dribble into the left, crossed over, went to the right, and then went over her shoulder, threw it to the left corner for a bang out 3 from Sophie Cunningham. I was like, that was great. That was a truly high level pass. I was impressed. I liked it. And Caitlin Clark hit 4 threes, and that was my experience watching the WNBA game yesterday. So I'm not going back to that. I'm going to the Tigers game today. I don't think Tarek Skubal is going to be out there for more than a few innings, so I'm taking his under in case. Ballsy, I know. I'm taking under 8.5 strikeouts for Tarek Skubal, though.
All right, here's my question for you. This is the final, should Skubal start, blah, 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 this. What if he gets through 3 or 4 innings? Perfect.
He's cruising. Oh, my God.
Perfect.
This is why I would take him out after the first no matter
12
what.
12 up, 12 down. Yeah, but we're not asking what you're going to do. I'm just saying this is the scenario that's happened. He's perfect through 4. 12 up, 12 down. He's got 8 Ks to go with it. What are you thinking in that?
You got to let him go until he's not perfect. Until he gives up a hit. You have to. You're not going to walk anybody.
Yeah.
So it essentially comes down to, is he going to give up
Imagine perfect game. Skubal never got
What are you talking about, dude? The game hasn't even started yet. We're talking about a perfect game.
I'm just saying, though, Skubal's never even thrown a no-hitter as a Tiger. Obviously they're rare, but, he's the back-to-back Cy Young, doesn't have a no-hitter to his name. Imagine doing it in his last start. That'd be insane.
It'd be even more impressive the way that he does it because he throws in the strike zone.
Yeah.
Every ball he throws is hittable to some extent. It's just nobody can time it up most of the time. So I'm taking his under in case because I don't think he's going to be out there.
Yeah, the odds obviously help you this because you're minus 128. They're in favor. I will tail, but I also don't think they're going to pull him early. I think it's going to be like a typical he'll go 6 innings type of game. That makes me want to fade, actually. I'm going to fade. Screw it. I'm fading. I think that he pitches a normal game today, and he's going to go balls to the wall and try to get as many Ks as possible. So I'm going to fade.
Okay, there you go. That's our lock of the day.
Lock of the day.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. You lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
Next tradition is our game of the day.
Game of the day.
I'm going to break my own rules. I'm picking a day game. It's potentially Scooble's last start. You have to pick
I
this.
was really going to beg you to do this.
Yeah. No other choice. It's potentially the last time this guy's taken the mound in the Old English D, so of course it's going to be the game of the day. I don't even know what else would contend for it. So that's what we're going to go with. Is our game of the day.
Game of the day. I got 2 words for you. Steve Nash and Chris Paul. Must-see TV.
Okay, the last thing we have is predicting what Colin Cowherd's going to open with. Probably is going to be J-Mac again today. So what is J-Mac going to open up his show with? Nobody got a point yesterday, so it's still 67-66?
Yep, I'm in the lead. I told you, once I got to 67, I didn't plan on getting another point ever again.
I thought we were done with that joke. And then I saw the reel that you sent me to post of asking
John.
everybody, and John still wanted to
Yeah.
make 6-7 jokes, and I was like, oh man, I think that ended.
I think
already,
it is
John.
dead. Yeah, I think 6-7 is dead. But I still kind of have a little bit of a quiver every time I hear it. You know,
Like an itch.
yeah, it's like, wait, what did he say? Okay, it is my turn to go first today. There's a world where like a Caitlin Clark lead happens. You know, I don't really know what else is going on. It's the first day of NFL stuff, practice, training camp, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what the NFL take is, if he just wants to pick a team. I'm going to go back to what I picked yesterday, though. I will go to the Baker Mayfield Tampa Bay Bucks thing. It's probably picking it back-to-back days seems a little silly, but I don't know. I think the Baker stuff is lead worthy, so I'll go with that.
What should I pick? Should I just pick
Maybe
LeBron
college
again?
football playoff I could have went with.
I don't know if he likes the college
I don't
football
really know
playoffs.
either, yeah. Like, I don't think the Bijan Gibbs thing is, like, lead worthy.
It could
right?
be. I'm going to go Caleb Williams. When in doubt,
Just
spam the
'cause,
Caleb Williams
yeah.
button.
They're in Los Angeles. They're not in Chicago, so worth noting.
By the way, Verlander's last outing before he got traded, he had a no-hitter going into the 6th inning. Guess how many pitches he ended up throwing?
100.
112.
That's messed up.
Do you imagine they're just like, you know what, Scooble?
all time.
F you.
Yeah, most pitches ever.
115
You want to stay in the
pitches today.
game every time, huh? Prove it.
His arm falls off on the mound.
We're going full Dylan Cease mode.
All right. We'll all be watching the Tigers at 1 o'clock. Thanks for listening, everybody. Subscribe on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Follow us there. Instagram. I think I said that. See you guys.
The Ben Bosscher